Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Melvin Robert from the TV show Extra. Every day on our show, we talk to the biggest celebrities and the biggest newsmakers around. We get exclusive details about hookups and breakups, baby news, and the behind-the-scenes info from your favorite TV shows and movies. But we can only fit so much on our show. That's where Extra the podcast comes in. Listen and follow Extra the podcast and Odyssey Podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode number 3,959. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my car, Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, once again, we play Big Dummy. Ted's Meat and Potatoes has foods that famous chefs refuse to eat. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, funnable listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Click, clack. All right, here we go to England, where a man cries in court while pleading guilty to having sex with a cow. Meanwhile, Florida man attacks former girlfriend who said his custard launcher was less than wow. Man takes off shoes on plane to reveal he has 6 toes. Thieves break into store and steal some sexy time clothes. And manatees in Florida are now eating people's lawns. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, today is the day that we play Big Dummy, the game show that rewards you for your stunning ignorance. And here's how it works. You call us, we spin the category. Whoa, so close.
All right.
We were right there, man. We will spin the category wheel.
It's almost there.
I know. And then we'll ask you a question from that category. But here's where Big Dummy separates itself from your average, more reputable game show. We will continue to ask you questions until you get one right. Because as always, we want you to leave here smarter than you showed up. Now, so far this year, our biggest dummy has been the lovely and talented Kyle, who thought Roe versus Wade was a debate about the best way to spend time in the water, and found a way to answer 14 consecutive questions wrong. Can you do better? Of course you can. Everyone else has. So give us a call, and off we go on Big Dummy.
To be a contestant to play Big Dummy, call 206-803-ROCK. Like The Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to themensroom@KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, but tell us, away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode number 3,959. What a large and in-charge program we have for you today. Head chef is back in the house. Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Foods that famous chefs refuse to eat. Now, is this like White Castle hamburgers?
No, they're just normal run-of-the-mill foods.
Okay. Like a hot dog or something weird where you think, like, I'm never eating that.
Yeah, I mean, look, one famous chef who's passed away, he named a specific kind of place.
Okay.
But most of them are just foods that, you would eat every day.
All right, okay.
But not them.
Well, people, hey, we all have foods that a lot of people like that most people enjoy, and I can't stand them.
Well, let's think about when I used to cook. I mean, I spent 12 years going, I cannot believe people order this ass.
Mm-hmm.
You make 50 plates of it a day. Like, God damn, I wouldn't put this in my mouth.
I know a lot of people like yogurt, just not the biggest fan. Cottage
Didn't
cheese.
you just enjoy some yogurt?
I did.
You told me you had yogurt with blueberries.
I did.
And it made you fart.
It did. My stomach was
You got to get used to it, yeah.
I put some honey in there. I've never done that before with blueberries. It was actually not bad. It was not great. I was just like, I got to try it again. I'm going to keep trying just to see.
Sure.
Because my uncle's in town. He eats healthy like that. So I have all this extra food in my refrigerator.
Well, that's why you
what I mean,
make smoothies. It's like your healthy milkshake.
The blueberries aren't going bad. I don't want to throw them away. I've got the yogurt. I'm like, all right, this is what he eats. I took a bowl. I'm like, all right, this isn't the worst in the world.
Is it just like natural Greek yogurt?
Yeah. It's actually really. It's
Look, I like it. It's a little tart.
A little bit.
I like the taste of it. You're right. You can add some honey or whatever. You just fart all day, and they're not stinky. Just for me, it was just like, oh my God, I'm just all day long.
I told Steve how surprised I was that how my whole body was reacting to the. You'd think that I'd done something illegal,
right?
Instead of something that's supposedly healthy.
But no, that's yogurt.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a little psychedelic feel.
That's right. So foods that famous chefs refuse to eat, coming up with a head chef and Ted's meat and potatoes. What else do we have for you today? More Men's Room every Monday through Friday, exclusively on Odyssey and the Odyssey app. Download that now. It's absolutely free. Look for the Men's Room page. It's where you'll find all things Men's Room. By the way, a little bonus feature going on right now. The Men's Room Happy Hour channel normally was just absolutely dead until we started the Men's Room Happy Hour at 6.
Correct.
Channel's still there. We do go live on that at 6. But the caveat being, they've now just started running old episodes of our program 24 hours a day on the Men's Room Happy Hour channel.
What a fantastic idea.
Right.
I wish we told them to do that.
We might need to rename it like the Men's Room channel.
Right.
And that's where you find the Happy Hour at 6 o'clock. Since it's a channel completely just, all about the Men's Room.
There you go.
So that's on there, a Men's Room radio station. We'll listen again all day today at work.
Yes, indeed, man.
Some fine selections on there as well. Of course, all of our podcasts on there. And as we like to do when we do Big Dummy on the Men's Room Happy Hour, a little dirty Big Dummy once again, a brand new category. Ted, I believe this is your week to dominate.
Oh, yeah.
It is. One is not the name of an actual athlete.
Oh.
So we have some names of athletes. 3 of them are real. One is one that I made up. I'll give you a couple examples.
Easy.
If I can. Steve Schartz.
Mm-hmm. I've heard the name. I know that is an actual athlete.
Harry Colon. Tokyo Sex Whale.
Tokyo Sex Whale.
Dick Wigglesworth. Is that a real athlete?
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a.
I
didn't think I was going to be able to fill the whole category up, and I'm like, this is amazing. Thank you, Destiny Hooker. And yeah, there's a few on here. Oh no, Kyle Sackrider. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys on there that are they're athletes. One is not, and I'll give you a hint there. All the ones I named are real athletes.
That's a sad statement.
Just so you know. So Dirty Big Dummy coming up with the Men's Room Happy Hour. What else do we have for you today? Oh, the game known as Big Dummy. It's an easy game to play. We spin the category wheel. Either playing for Team Sober or Team Not Sober. Our biggest dummy so far has been Kyle. Took him 14 questions to get one right. And as what we do when we play Big Dummy, we like to do a little Men's Room poll. Now, the last time we asked you about your significant other and what they have. Here are your choices. Your significant other has IBS. This is going to be problematic because IBS is not fun for anybody. And not only that, but any plans you might have.
Oh, yeah.
They could be completely ruined in a second with IBS as far as you either not going or you having to come home a lot earlier than you expected. Chronic flatulence made the list, as well as halitosis and being cross-eyed. Now, we put the poll up for you every week if you follow Men's Room on Twitter at Men's Room Live. Here's how it all shook down. The one thing that you absolutely did not want your significant other to have all the time, 6% of the vote. Coming in fourth place, halitosis.
Yep.
Bad breath is worse. What's coming out of your mouth is what's worse than what's coming out of your ass. Mm-hmm. Think about it that way.
Because even if they give you a peck on the cheek, if they mouth sleep,
well,
you know what I mean?
Typically, you're not talking to someone's butt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Having communication.
There's a few people where I am.
Coming in at number 3, IBS at 22%. Then we have flatulence at second place with 35%, barely beating out what you said, I'll deal with this, being cross-eyed at 38%. Okay? So that's how that went down. This week on the poll, you're going to come home. Now, we had a bunch of stories yesterday about people finding weird things in their home. One caller actually said that the home that they grew up in, their father's home, had wasps that had built a nest in the entire wall area of their home. Okay? So to the point where drywall's coming down, vents are being replaced, the whole deal. This thing, I guess when the guy pulled this thing out, it was just a massive amount of wasps that were in there. So the number one thing that you're going to come home to is wasps. And as we have another person who experienced the same type of thing, my dad came home to find a wasp flying around in his house. Then he saw another, and then another. He investigated and heard a buzzing coming from the dining room. An entire nest of wasps had been living in the walls and chewed through the sheetrock and were now pouring into the home through a hole.
Nope.
The dining room, by the way, was a formal room only used for holidays and dinner parties. So most of the time, he never even went in there.
Yeah.
It was summer, and as they say in this part of the country, most of the dining was always done outside in the summertime on a picnic table. So they never heard any buzzing because they never went in there. Also, my dad was older, and his hearing is not very good. So the exterminator was called and cleared out the nest. They had to remove all the sheetrock within that wall and replace all the vent covers in the home, and paint the inside of the dining room. They typically had wasps' nests hanging from the eaves all the time, so seeing wasps outside would not have been that big of a deal. Even in the mailbox, wherever the deal was, it was just a lot in the area. So you're going to come home to wasps in your walls. Second choice, dog diarrhea.
No.
From Reddit, an old dog of mine had become sick after getting a hold of a large batch of double fudge brownies at some point during the day. By the time I got home, I walked into a house with no less than 25 separate puddles, streaks all over my home of pure S. Poor fella had to eat bland boiled chicken and rice for a week just to get his stomach straight, but the mess was insane and the smell was horrific. Typical situation there. We've all had it before if you've had a dog. The second story that someone came home to was a result of a Roomba. So I think
I've heard those before.
When
right.
you put both of those together, that is the worst case scenario.
Sure.
So your second choice, you're going to come home to doggy diarrhea.
I've done that, and it's awful. I mean, it is absolutely horrible.
Your third option of what you're going to come home to, remnants of a burglary.
I've had that too.
I have been out of the country for 3 days at a music festival. Came home to my front door, crowbarred in, my entire house trashed. They had taken my TV, my DVDs, laptops, etc. But the cherry on top of this S-cake, they emptied my box of sex toys. So when the police came, the forensic team were dusting my dildos for fingerprints. Which I think might have been slightly embarrassing. Another. My house had been broken into. I got home. There were 2 police cars in the driveway. A neighbor had reported it. The house was trashed. I have no idea why. I'm not material. Don't keep much on hand. The guy got away, and I cleaned up. Not a good day. So your first choice, you're going to come home to wasps and walls. Number 2, you come home to your house covered in dog diarrhea. Number 3, the remnants of a burglary. And number 4, which I thought was one of the more interesting options that you did not want to come home to. A man was explaining that even though it was a Tuesday, like all birthdays, they fall on whatever day they're going to fall on. So he had a birthday, and he went to work. As he explained it, they were short-staffed at work, and even though it was his birthday, and his boss had originally told him, you'll probably be able to leave earlier on in the afternoon to be able to go home and hang out. On this day, it was just not possible, the job that he was at. So this guy, on his birthday, instead of being able to go home a little bit early, which he told his wife that he was going to do, he ended up coming home between an hour and a half and 2 hours later. Now, his wife explained that since it was a Tuesday night, they were going to wait and go out on the weekend for his birthday.
Yeah, of course.
She was just going to cook him something nice at home, his favorite meal, which he was looking forward to because it was like a steak, baked potato, and like a small lobster tail. Like that was what he wanted to have for dinner. Okay? Turns out, there's traffic on the way home. He's a little bit later than so his wife thinks that he is going to be home about 4 to 5 hours earlier than this. He did call her and say, hey,
This is not going to happen, man. Please don't start cooking or anything like that. I'm not going to be home till later. I'll grill the steaks when we get there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He gets home on a Tuesday. He opens the door, and what is waiting for him? A surprise birthday party with 30 friends and neighbors from around the area. This is on a Tuesday night, okay? So the fourth option is you'll come home to a surprise party. Now, this could happen any day. Right. It doesn't have to be your birthday. To me, that's a real surprise party. Like, what are you celebrating? We just like you. Mm-hmm. We've been waiting for you at home after working all day.
I mean, he wants to come home. He wants to take a shower. He's looking forward to it. By the way, they did not make steak and lobster, obviously, for 30 people. So he also did not get the meal he wanted on his birthday. And as he explained, they were too tired of cleaning up to have birthday sex, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. And the couple that stayed until 1 o'clock in the morning, that they could not get them to leave. The thread is an interesting read as far as like everything just that he did not want to happen. He was appreciative at the end of this.
Sure.
I don't want to come across as ungrateful. You know how everybody tries to wrap these things up.
But I don't want a surprise party.
I just did not want a surprise party on a Tuesday night.
At my home.
With all these people there. And he explained that the next day he got up at like 6 a.m. to go to work, but he could not stop just picking up glasses, cups, throwing stuff away.
Right.
You know, doing all the things that he had to do. So our men's room poll. Come home to one. Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, the remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party. All right.
I mean, I think I'm still taking surprise party.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, if it's my birthday, I'm not that surprised. I'm surprised, but I'm not that surprised. But if I went home today after work and I opened the door and I just want to throw my feet up and see the kids and like 30 people, like, surprise.
Sure. Well,
it would be hard not to be like,
What about it? Like you got fired?
Oh, God. Yep.
Like whoever's throwing the party doesn't know.
Like a surprise party at the end of your worst day.
Sure. Well, the NFL did that a couple times this year. They actually wished people happy birthday and then cut them 2 hours later. I don't know if you saw that.
Correct. It happened a couple times.
That's this past week, within 7 days.
I don't know that the head coach needs to talk to the social team.
Right.
But
I think they do.
Well, yeah, there's enough people working in an NFL organization that somebody should say, hey, Tuesday's cut day. Let's
wait.
Let's
just wait.
How about we just send birthdays for people on the active roster?
There you go.
Well, the problem was, in my mind, I think the worst is the remnants of a burglary. Now, I know it's a pain in the ass to take the wasps out of the walls. I know you have to take the drywall off and do all that work. And, first of all, I am not skilled in drywall. I've tried it before. I have done it before, actually, over a summer. It is, I got good at it then. I wouldn't be bad at it now. It's just hard work, and you need to be.
I'm not doing it. I'm paying someone to do that.
Exactly.
Man.
So that's why I'm saying that this is not the worst case scenario.
But it gets expensive.
It's just out of pocket expense.
Right.
And it's a pain in the ass, and then you're going to have to paint it. You're going to have to do everything else. So it's not the worst case scenario. But when someone breaks into your home, there is a feeling that you've been violated, and that your place of being a safe place is not a safe place anymore.
I had someone break into an apartment years ago, and I mean, it pissed me off. It pissed me off, but I wasn't going to lose my mind about it. I think I feel different now just because you have kids in the house. But, it was just me and a roommate. I was like, man, someone gripped our stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
what did they end up taking? Do you remember?
Like almost all the stereo equipment, and I think they tried to get the TV out, but at that time, TVs were super heavy, you know what I mean? So the TV was in a different place. But it just weighed too much. And it's in the middle of the city, man, you know what I mean? So if you're walking down the street with a big-ass TV, no one questions it was stereo equipment, but stereo equipment, a couple of albums, bunch of CDs, just crap. But you could tell, look, we were broke, so there wasn't a lot to take, but you could tell that they had, in fact, gone through every room in the apartment to see what else was there.
And rifled through everything.
Yeah. And I mean, that kind of
and to be honest with you, I think in those instances, a lot of the times, yes, you can see the big ticket items that are not in their place.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for first.
It's all the smaller items that you don't realize are gone until you go to look for them and go, oh my God, they took blank.
But that could be 4 months later.
Right. And you didn't put that in for if you had renter's insurance, you didn't put that into the claim, or homeowner's insurance.
Did you ever have renter's insurance? I never did.
I did one time.
All right.
One time in my life, and the reason that I got it was because of the area that I was living in Pasadena, Maryland. That's the only reason.
I've always had it, and anymore you kind of have to.
Yeah, I want to say now they do make you get it, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the more valuable, at that point, I was young. That was right before I thought about buying a home, and I did have what I consider to be more valuable stuff than I'd ever had in my life.
I guess that's a good thing when I got robbed. I mean, like I said, we were pretty much dead broke, so they took what they took, and it sucked. But we didn't have a lot to take. They should have even left a note like, damn, sorry, man.
Exactly. We took all your top ramen.
That's what you would have gotten.
All right, Big Dummy coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
And away we go. Let's do this. The game is Big Dummy, 206-803-ROCK. Steve, who is our first contestant, ready to play the big game.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. Chris, are you sober or not sober?
I am sober. Stuck at home with back pain.
You got back pain? What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I threw it out when I was like 18.
Okay. Still suffering from that. All right, our Men's Room poll, Chris. You're going to come home to one. Wasps in the walls, doggy diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party.
I'll take the bees. I've dealt with them before.
Taking the dog diarrhea. Okay. Much better than a surprise party. I like this.
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't know why, man. I just don't want a surprise party.
Grab a roll of paper towels and just get on my knees and start cleaning.
Start cleaning, yeah. All right, Chris, here is your question, multiple choice. Which character's real name is John Brown? Is it Popeye, Inspector Gadget, The Grinch, or Captain Planet?
I feel like that one's Inspector Gadget.
One and done.
Yeah, apparently they never mentioned it in the cartoon, but when Matthew Broderick made the movie, I guess that's the only time they mentioned it.
Bad live action.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, since you're one and done, the Ted Smith been working all week on true or false questions just for people like you.
Diligently.
This week, diligently, that's the word. That is the word. This week, true or false regarding Wizard of Oz characters. Wizard of Oz characters. We're all familiar with the movie, so true or false? The Wicked Witch was not actually flying on a broom. That was actually two separate sex toys, one for the front, one for the back.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the other ones didn't have brooms and they could all fly, so.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, man.
Did I
A lot
know
of
that
people thought.
Inspector Gadget was an abolitionist, Ted? Did you?
That was the first thing I was thinking.
Yeah, John Brown.
When you say John Brown, that's who I think.
That's the only one
You
I
don't
know.
think Inspector Gadget first?
No.
Man, oh, man.
I do not. No.
Big W.
Harper's Ferry.
That is correct. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Mike, are you sober or not sober?
Sober. I'm doing DoorDash today.
All right.
You know what? Shout out to you, man.
Hey, Mike, what's the hardest thing to not want to get in the bag with? I know you don't, but I'm just saying.
We don't know he doesn't.
Well, barbecue, like, what is the one where you're like, oh, man, I'm getting that tonight?
What, for picking up an order?
Well, for yourself. Like, after you picked it up, delivered it, the smell of it, you're like, man, you know what? I got to go back there and get a cheesesteak or whatever the deal is.
I wouldn't say really it's not my biggest pleasure, but my ladies, we get their crumble cookie orders.
Oh, yeah.
When they're the hot crumble cookie orders and you can actually smell them,
Okay.
Even I'll admit sometimes I'll go for those too.
I believe you. All right, so what are you going to come home to there, Mike? Wasps in the walls, doggy diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
While you guys were explaining that party going till like 1 a.m., I would pass on that. The easiest thing, in my opinion, is the doggy diarrhea. Because that's a simple mop.
I mean, it can be done, but it's such.
You say simple mop, or what about carpet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a different story.
Right. I mean, that's, to me, doggy diarrhea, it's like there's carpet involved.
Now, see, that's the thing. We have recently removed all of the carpet in the house. We all have hard surfaces.
Oh, well.
But if the dog's going to puke or if the dog is going to poop herself, you know what she does? She finds anything that is not the floor. So she will then go to a bath mat or like your little welcome mat in front of a door. You got all this floor you could do it on, be an easy cleanup. But it's like you have to find a piece of material, right? There's like maybe 3 of them in the house. There's a welcome mat at the front door. There's a welcome mat at the kitchen door. There's the bath mats. That is where the dog will puke or poop. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, man. Like, seriously.
The worst one is the sofa cushion.
My dog recently, she didn't poop or puke up there, but I came home to discover she had found some hot spiced honey that we'd left on the kitchen island. She got into that, and you know where she decided to eat it all? On the sofa.
Oh,
See, my dogs and cats.
I was about
my
to
dogs and
kill
cats
her.
have been complete. I could have hardwood throughout the entire place, but if I have one nice runner rug,
That's where they're going to do the
or
business.
one, the cat's going to puke there. The dog is going to throw up and poop there.
And I don't understand.
I don't either.
We've given you all this floor for you to F up, and you still find like the worst possible place to do it. Sons of bitches.
Indoor grass. That's where I'll do it.
All right, here's your question. What element is third on the periodic table?
Iron.
What'd you say?
Iron.
Is it helium?
Helium is 2. Hydrogen is 1. I'll give you a hint that'll give it away. It's also a Nirvana song.
Lithium.
Lithium. There it is.
I almost yelled in utero.
In uteronium.
I'd almost rather have the gas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Plateau.
All right, your question. What was George Washington's wife's name?
Lisa.
Martha. I actually knew a Martha. And it's weird because when I met her, she's like 22, man. And you can't wrap your head around the idea of someone that young being named Martha. She's now married to one of my friends, but still. They've been together for like 30 years.
I know 2 Marthas. They're both like my age.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. To me, Martha, it's like Agnes. You know, you hear that name. You're like, I just assume you're an old nun.
Actually, I know a lot of...
I've seen Cooking Lady from Martha Stewart.
Yeah, but I know 2 Marthas out here, and I grew up with a couple Marthas.
Did you?
Yeah.
Man, I've only met one in my life.
Do any of them have a vineyard?
No. One of them seems like somebody that could work there.
Okay.
The Martha I knew, one of the Marthas I knew back in Maryland had a small beard.
Small beard?
It was a little blonde.
Oh, nice.
You couldn't like see it.
But when the sun came out.
Martha's beard. Yes, isn't that beautiful?
And Mike, we just call it the vineyard.
The vineyard. All right, your question. 12 of the 20 biggest hotels in the world, based on the number of rooms, are in what city?
12 of the
20 biggest hotels in the world, based on the number of rooms, are in what city?
Reno,
Mike. Have you been to Reno?
yes. Not of the age of 21, though. I've been, my grandparents have taken me on multiple family trips. I'm 23 now.
Okay.
I just went down to Oregon last weekend and finally got to buy some of their weed. Woo!
Yeah, you're not kidding. By the way, man, and Ted, you can back me up on this. Honestly, there's one nice hotel.
In Reno?
I mean, maybe 2, but there's the one.
Oh, the Peppermill.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm sure there's another. I just didn't see it.
I'm sure there is, but
Right.
like I tell her, like that's just like the spot. And like I met a couple people over the years that live in Reno, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you come down, we'll go to the Peppermill." They never say any other place.
Then there's not another nice one.
That's what I'm saying. There's one hotel.
By the way, the answer is Las Vegas. Right state, wrong city. All right, your question, multiple choice. Gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, or chlamydia. Which should I name my daughter? No. Gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, or chlamydia. Which is the ancient Greek word for creeping?
What are the options?
Gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, or chlamydia. One of them is actually the ancient Greek word for creeping.
Syphilis.
Gonorrhea?
Nope. Herpes. The herpes.
Creeping, Matt.
And
Messed
sticking,
up. I tell my friends a messed up joke going, you got the gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis.
sticking with STDs, powdered wigs became popular in the late 1500s because so many men were losing their hair due to what? Gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, or chlamydia?
Syphilis.
There you go.
There you go. Think about that. You got all these guys wearing the powdered wigs back in the day. It was a big thing. It became fashionable, so it did not mean you had syphilis. But the guys that first started wearing the wigs, it's because they had syphilis.
Well, it's also life-threatening at that point. Syphilis.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but I haven't had it. Mm-hmm. It's a need-to-know thing, I think. Like, I'm trying to avoid it anyway, so not sweating.
Yeah, I mean, right, a lot of things back then, just like, yep, just died of that.
Yep.
Game is Big Dummy, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Logan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Logan, are you sober or not sober?
I'm sober.
Logan, welcome to Big Dummy. Our men's room poll, you're going to come home to one. Will it be wasps in your walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
I'm going to go with dog diarrhea. I got all hardwood, so it wouldn't be that hard to clean up.
Do you have any area rugs or any welcome mats in your home? Because that is where you know the most of it's going to be.
Yeah, I do have one rug in the living room, but I would just throw it out. It's not that expensive, so.
That's thinking. All right, here's your question. North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm are the children of whom?
I have no idea.
Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
That is correct.
Oh, I didn't realize they were all his.
I believe all 4 are his.
Okay.
I think I got the order of the ages right, because North was first, because everyone was like Northwest. Really? That's what you named your kid?
Yeah, and you're right. She's been married before. I guess
Correct.
She never had a child before.
Yeah, so North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. If you had to pick one of those 4 names, you're one of the kids. Which name are you picking?
I think Saint.
I think I'm going Saint as well.
Yeah.
Still had to punch my father in the face.
Saint Smith.
Saint Smith. All right, your question. During World War II, what drug was given to Nazi soldiers and pilots to carry out the Blitzkrieg?
I would go probably cocaine.
Methamphetamine,
Methamphetamine, yeah.
Correct.
Coke is a good guess, though.
Right. That's one thing about the Nazis. People are like, we've never seen an army move like this. And it's like, yeah, you haven't.
It's like 3rd Avenue in downtown Seattle.
And Hitler basically was on speed his entire adult life.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard about the guy.
But hey, you got it from a doctor.
That's all okay. All right, your question. How many times did Ross Geller get divorced on the show Friends?
I haven't watched the show. I'm just going to throw out number 3.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Okay.
You know the names of the wives, Ted? I never really watched Friends.
I can't remember the first wife, right? Because didn't he already have a kid? I mean, obviously, I think did he marry Rachel then divorce her?
Did they get married or did they just get together?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of that towards the end. There.
I don't think they ever got married until the end, if they did.
Do you know him, Throw?
I have no idea, man.
Oh.
I really don't. Like I
That
said,
was
I
not
don't watch
my,
the
that was
show
not my
much.
show.
I knew there was a big deal about Ross and Rachel, and like you heard about it all the time, but I never really watched it. I just knew he had a monkey and a kid.
Game is Big Dummy, 206-803-ROCK.
No, he did marry Rachel Green.
He did or did
So
not?
it was a Carol, and Emily, and then Rachel. But I think when they got married, it was like a mistake, or they were hammered, or something like.
Oh, like a Vegas wedding kind of thing?
I think so.
We don't know, do we?
I don't like. Miles always says he didn't like it. I liked it when it was on the air, but when I try to rewatch it, I don't like it.
You can't get through it now?
I mean, right? I would never say I didn't like it to begin with, but like, yeah, I won't watch him again.
I feel that way with Chips. Loved it
Yeah.
as kids, seeing it on like TV Land. I'm like, this is the dumbest goddamn show ever made. Then I watched Dukes of Hazzard. I'm like, check that. This is the dumbest show ever made. Hello, Todd. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Todd, are you in team sober or not sober?
Sober. I'm about to get tattooed.
All right, cool for you.
Oh, all right.
What are you getting?
I have, my grandma thinks of it less punctual, I guess. I have a DMT molecule, a psilocybin, a mushroom, and looks like a devil's hand.
Oh, okay.
And your grandmother doesn't like that? Tell her to loosen up, man.
She's kind of Lutheran.
All right. Well, did she recognize? I mean, there's no way she looked at it and said, hey, man, is that the DNA sequence of psilocybin?
No, the psilocybin, I have the mushroom in one hand and the DMT molecule in the other.
Okay. Did she recognize the DMT molecule? Like, I know what that is.
I think it's more about
Oh, no, she does not.
It's the devil's hand, I'm sure, right?
You should have told her that this is the symbol for love. That's all.
Are you a Sturgill Simpson fan?
I know of him, but not too much.
Why do you ask that?
One of his first songs that got popular, at least with my crew, was Turtles All the Way Down. And he talks about psilocybin, marijuana, but he talks about meeting the devil in Seattle. And I'm pretty sure he's referring to doing DMT.
Okay.
Probably in Seattle. All right, Todd, what are you coming home to? Wasps in the walls, doggy diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Well, I have to say sorry to Ted, but birthday party, because it's near Christmas.
Okay.
I think it'd be a surprise for you every time you actually have a party for your birthday on your birthday.
If it was on my birthday, yes.
You would be stunned, right?
Yeah.
You need more Jewish friends. You need to make friends with people that don't celebrate Christmas, Ted, and then they'll be like, cool, yeah, I got nothing going on, man.
The whole thing will be catered with Chinese food.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Just saying, man, you know.
All right. Well, in another turn, and the rest of you wasps, get out of my house.
All the Christians out.
Right?
It's my Jew friend party. No gifts to wrap, bitches. We're up all night. All right, here's your question. How many Harry Potter books are there?
Oh, my Atlanta. I believe there's 6.
Close. 7. But 8 movies, is that right?
Correct.
Why do they do that?
They split the last one in 2.
For the money, right?
Exactly.
Did they need to do it? Like, was the story so long and involved that they needed to split
here's
it over
the
2
thing.
movies?
It was all about money because honestly, they should have split the 4th movie into 2 different movies because the books just kept getting fatter and fatter, and they started leaving more and more out of the movies. So the Harry Potter fans were bitching ever since movie number 4, 5, and 6, and then all of a sudden, okay, we're just going to split this last one in half because we need to tell the full story. My eye. So you want as much money as you can get.
So there was some pushback from the Harry Potter heads. Like, I'm in the Star Wars world, right? So we're bitching about who's that guy you like?
Harry Potter heads.
Who's the stupid character that you defend?
Jar Jar Binks.
Right. So Star Wars people, like, we had a real problem with that. I did not know that the Harry Potter world also had their, let me tell you, they screwed us on the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, there was a lot that was missed.
All right, here's your question. Winifred, Mary, and Sarah are witches and sisters in what movie?
I believe they were the Sanderson sisters.
That's a good question.
Thank you. I appreciate that. A movie with witches.
Hocus Pocus.
Bingo!
You got it. You got it. All right.
Also, by the way, guys, you guys have gotten me through depression, anxiety, and suicide, by the way. So you guys are actually doing awesome work. So I appreciate you guys and everything that you guys do.
Wow, that's
so thank you guys for what you do.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
God, man.
Yeah. Well, and to my ex-girlfriend, I love you, bitch.
Wow. Checked all the boxes.
Jesus. All right.
I'm glad I got that in there.
Oh, no.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right. More Big Dummy coming up. 206-803 Rock.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Melvin Robert from the TV show Extra. Every day on our show, we talk to the biggest celebrities and the biggest newsmakers around. We get exclusive details about hookups and breakups, baby news, and the behind-the-scenes info from your favorite TV shows and movies. But we can only fit so much on our show. That's where Extra the podcast comes in. Listen and follow Extra the podcast and Odyssey Podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Want more Men's Room content? Follow the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app and check out my live stream, A Moment with Mike Hawk and Nothing in Particular with Steve the Thrill Hill. Going live Thursdays and Fridays at 1 exclusively on the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, so as you know, our Men's Room poll, going to come home to what? Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, and a surprise party. Steve and I were out smoking, and VD was out there as well.
Yep.
And Stevie made the comment that I can't believe how many people are picking the dog diarrhea instead of a surprise party.
Clearly, people do not like surprise parties.
I've never had a surprise party.
Neither have I. Then VD explained that his
Mike,
brother.
I know you have it.
Yeah.
Nope, sure hasn't.
Any party for Mike's a surprise.
Yeah.
A surprise party for Mike is that you sent him an invitation.
That is a surprise. Surprise! But
holy crap!
VD, you said you actually had a surprise party, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So, what, you said you were 30?
Yes, my younger brother decided to throw me a surprise birthday party for my 30th birthday. So the guys that he used to trick me into this little surprise shindig was that the power was out or the water was out in my condo complex. And where the central hub for the water is at is in another building in the complex. So he needed me to help him go over there to turn the water back on. Now,
I don't know why I fell for this, but it seemed plausible at the time.
As you're saying it out loud, I'm thinking, man, you're stupid.
I feel stupid, even saying it out loud. Get over there, get down to this stupid basement, and I'm shining the flashlight around. I said, where's this at? I said, is there power on over here? I think the light switch is over here somewhere. So I walk over, turn the light switch, and then the room lights up, and it's about 30 people, including my goddamn family, and they're all saying surprise.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I was so pissed off.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Because first of all, I don't like surprises. There are very few things that actually surprise me. I don't want to be bothered. It was, I think, a Friday night. My birthday was a Friday night. Yeah. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to go home. Maybe I'll light a cigar. I'm definitely drinking some whiskey. Oh, there's a problem with the water. And then surprise. And then, don't get me wrong. It was very thoughtful. I appreciate all the time, the consideration, the coordination, the 2 Costco cakes, the pizza, all the friends and acquaintances and everyone just walking around and talking to have a good time. Were you surprised? I sure was.
Yes.
I sure was.
Are you surprised that I hate you?
All I wanted to do was tell them all to just F right off. Leave me the F alone. So,
surprise party.
Yes.
So you'd rather go home to dog diarrhea?
Dog diarrhea all day.
You're taking the boot.
All day.
Game is Big Dummy 206-803-ROCK. Steve, who is our next contestant, ready to play the big game?
He's such a warm, cuddly guy.
Yes.
Like if your teddy bear could talk, that would be VD. Hello, Spencer. Welcome to the men's room.
Aloha, bitchola.
Hola. Spencer, you're on Team Sober, I'm assuming, unless you had a bender?
No.
Yep. All right, Spencer, what are you coming home to? Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Well, I'll take a surprise party.
Check.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good old surprise party.
Someone who appreciates someone else's hard work.
Mm-hmm. Not like that VD
It's my
character.
wife's family.
I mean, surprise party is dominating on Twitter.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Good. In this world, it's all dog crap. All right, Spencer, here is your question. Where the hell? Oh, there we go. When was the last time the United States officially declared war?
That would be Afghanistan? No.
Nope, believe it or not.
Terrorism?
Nope. World War II, 1942, June 5th.
Oh.
That's the last time we officially declared war. Does not mean you don't have military conflicts, but to officially declare war is something different.
I think everybody needs to stop using that word.
What's that?
War.
War?
Yeah, like we used to use it all the time in like sports and stuff, and people are like, hey, maybe we should back off it, and then like war on this, war on that. Like, war is a serious thing.
Right, like war on Christmas, the war on this.
Yeah,
he's a warrior. He's a football player. He's a tough guy. I like him. He's not a warrior.
Yeah, and I can almost fathom saying he's a battler, warrior, but sometimes like this one's going to be war. It's like we say that a lot
about everything.
Yeah, and you're right. We haven't been in a like real technically declared war since World War II.
Yeah, think about that. It's been like 80 years. Not that that's a bad thing, but hey. All right, your question. What does the acronym SMH stand for? I just learned that when I wrote the question.
Shut my hole?
Shaking my head.
Yes, shaking my head.
Oh.
Shaving my hair. Sucking mama's hands. Mm-hmm. That's what it means when I say sorry to disturb.
Suck my hambo.
I'm sucking mama's hands. Yeah. Or hams.
Hams.
All right, your question. I know. So if I send it to you, weirdness is going on. All right, your question. What is the name of the racetrack that hosts the Kentucky Derby?
It's not right. Preakness? No.
That's second lane.
Churchill Downs.
Yep, Preakness is at Pimlico. Kentucky Derby is at Churchill Downs. All right, here you go, author. Here's an author question for you. Who wrote the Twilight books? Who wrote the Twilight books?
Stephanie Meyer.
There you go. Very good. Know your author. Mm-hmm. Game
Game is Big Dummy, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Will. Welcome to the midroom.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Will, are you sober or not sober?
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, sober or not sober?
Seriously, not sober.
Okay. All right, Will. You're going to come home to one. Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Oh, this is not sober Will.
I don't think I've ever had a surprise party, but a party's a party. And if my birthday was on Thanksgiving that year, then it wouldn't have been a surprise. Every 2 years, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving.
So you want the surprise party?
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'll take the party. A party's a party.
Okay.
He's getting drunk either way.
I know. I get the feeling. Okay.
6 a.m. party.
All right, there, Will. Here's your question. What city is home to the Liberty Bell?
Well, I lived there for 4 years, so Philly.
You lived in Philly for 4 years, huh?
Right.
All right, hang on. Since you got your one and done, we have the one and done true or false questions regarding characters from The Wizard of Oz. True or false? The motto of the Lollipop Guild was, "Yeah, suck it like that."
I would say true.
All right. Yeah. Nice job, Will.
Oh,
One
pervert.
and done.
Yeah, they're talking about lollipops, Ted.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, suck it like that.
It's the way they said it.
Yeah, suck it just like that.
Game is Big Dummy, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch.
Hola. Matt, are you sober or not sober?
Sober.
Sober, Matt. Welcome to the program. All right, let's see here. What are you going to come home to? Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Well, I've dealt with, I think 2 and 4. I didn't like it. I'll go with the surprise party.
Surprise party for Matt.
There you go.
All right, surprise.
All right, Matt, here is your question. What medical condition is known as OCA?
Let me check. Ocular... I don't know. That's actually a hard question. Ocular... congenitive... I can't think of the A.
I appreciate you making the effort to do this, and the way to pronounce it, I'm not even really sure, but it's better known in the medical community as albinism.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Question 2.
That's a question you didn't know, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we started out with a hard one.
Yeah, tough guy.
Yeah.
All right, your question. What is Seattle's sister city in Japan?
Oh, God. Nepal?
That's not in Japan.
No,
Is it
London?
Kobe?
It is Kobe. Look at Ted's coming. Oh, man.
We got the meats.
I knew Ted. That's where I'd heard it before, but I couldn't remember.
Don't involve me in your lies. All right, you didn't know the answer. You know what the main reason I know that is because I've gone to the Torchlight Parade.
Did they bring it up? Or do they have a band or whatever?
Well, there's always people holding signs, and I think there's people that come over from Japan, and it's our sister city in Japan.
Oh, okay. They bring us any beef? Do we get if I'm from Seattle and hey man, do we get the hookup?
I don't know.
I'm your brother sister. You know what I'm saying?
Bring me the beef.
You know what? I'm making the turn on that.
What's that?
The Kobe and Wagyu.
Yeah.
Enough. Give me a good old American steak.
Angus.
I would make this argument. You don't need to put it in your burger. An Arby's is hey, we got Kobe beef now. If you look at the small print, it's 51% Kobe. The other 49% is whatever they use, right? But don't waste it in a burger. I will take the steak.
I've tried one, and it is very good. I just feel like you go to a high-end steakhouse, almost every steak you get's going to be awesome. I don't need to spend $200 on a steak.
Yeah, that's a good point. At a steakhouse, right, we don't have bad steaks.
Yeah.
All right, your question. What was the first animated Disney film based on the life of a real person? Mike is crushing it today. I think you've only gotten one wrong all day today.
The whole thing.
Mike loves Disney movies, so of course. Mary Poppins isn't a real person, but I can't think of anybody else, so I'm just going to guess that.
Daniel Boone?
Nope. Keep thinking about it. It's the
Disney
name
movie.
Of it's a Disney movie
about a real person.
It is a real person. When you hear it, you go like, "Oh Jesus!" Man.
It's also disputed whether or not this was a real person.
Anastasia.
Nope.
Right. No. Damn it.
The Lion King. No. Pocahontas.
Oh, yep.
Like I said, when you say it out loud, you're like, "Oh my God!"
What did they do? Daniel Boone?
As an animated movie?
No, as a real life, like a real
Well, no,
movie.
he's saying animated.
Oh, animated.
Yeah, there's animated.
Okay.
There's also rumor that went around that Pocahontas might not have been an actual person, that John Smith might have just been, he was a notorious liar.
Okay.
So he might have gone back home and just like, oh yeah, so I found this native chick, Pocahontas.
I mean, did anyone meet her? Is this like the Canadian girlfriend? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, man.
Given the other side of what John Smith might have done to a girl, like, I'll take her not being real.
They know probably better.
Yeah.
Probably.
As opposed to him showing up and be like, yeah, she fell in love with me. Like, I bet that's not how it went.
Question 5, man.
Trust me, I'm watching Frontier. I don't ask women nicely.
I never said I was nice. I said she's my wife. All right, your question. The Juice Box is the nickname of what baseball stadium?
I just points in directions.
I do, man. And it's the right direction.
No, it is the correct direction.
That's the same way you pointed for Vegas.
No. He pointed almost due south for Vegas. He's pointing a little more.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Mike,
You can follow where
he's an Eagle Scout, Ted.
as the crow flies of where I'm pointing, Ted, you will land in this place.
Vegas is not due south of us.
Where's it do then?
Where's it due?
Southeast.
Who did the Dodgers play? When did the Dodgers play? That's my guess.
Dodger Stadium. That would be the Houston Astros Minute Maid Park.
That's correct. Minute Maid
See,
Park.
I was thinking Tropicana Field.
Right.
That was my first thought. I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
Oh, were you pointing to Florida?
Question 6.
Question number 6 for Matt. Who replaced Kathy Lee Gifford on the Today Show?
Kelly Ripa.
Nope. She replaced her on Live and Regis. On the Today Show is Jenna Bush.
Jenna Bush, that is correct.
Oh,
actually, Jenna Bush Hager.
Thank you, Miles.
Jenna Bush Hager.
The Bush is a nickname. All right. Greenland is a territory of what country?
I'm just gonna guess like England or something.
Mike with his direction.
Iceland?
Nope.
I can direct planes, dude.
Denmark.
Denmark.
Oh, that was the other one I was gonna say, but I'm
Yeah.
Like, what did this fella say when he called in, Matt?
I said, give me some hard questions. I know.
I don't think these are that hard, frankly.
Question 8.
Question number 8. Cinco de Mayo is the celebration of the Mexican defeat of what nation?
France.
There you go. There you go.
Game is Big Dummy, 206-803 Rock.
Hello, Marshall. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how you fellas doing?
Oh, I know. Marshall, sober, not sober?
I'll sober at work today.
All right. Like a real man.
Grown-ass man.
Grown-ass man.
No mixers.
Marshall, come home.
No mixer Marshall. That's what we're going to call
What
it.
are you coming home to? Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Surprise party. This is one of the easiest questions. I don't understand people.
Well, I mean, there's as many dog diarrhea votes as surprise party.
That's why he doesn't understand people.
I don't either.
Well, the callers are weird, though. Again, surprise party dominating on Twitter.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, if I give my parents a shout out, they had their anniversary last week. You guys weren't here. My dad listens to your show every week. They had the 61st wedding anniversary. So
63rd?
Wow. That is amazing.
61st.
Oh, that's still amazing.
That's not nearly as impressive.
That's amazing. Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah,
you should have thrown them a surprise party.
Love you guys show.
They're getting old, man.
Yeah.
No, they 80. They're in their 80s. They can't do that.
Surprise party and wake all at once. All right. Here's your question. A person described as a towhead, not towel, towhead, has what color hair?
I would guess red.
Blonde. I'm going to clear that up.
Still don't use that term to anybody.
No, don't say it.
I was stunned me on that.
I know.
The look you guys gave me like,
golly.
I did not say what you thought I just said.
Wow, man.
We'd have to do that on.
And is he daring us to say what we think we heard?
You know what I mean.
Don't act like you don't know it.
You know.
One and done. We should do that on the happy hour sometime. Just come on with the horrible racist thing.
We can.
What group of people does this apply to if you say blank? Right?
Oh, I'm out on that one.
Yeah, me too. I'm bailing. What did you guys do again?
Yeah.
Well, Steve hosted it.
Right, but you, Mike, and Ted got them all right.
10 out of 10 and the bonus. I made a multiple choice. They nailed it.
No, hit me with another one.
All right, your question.
I got a fresh 20 for you.
Speed round, let's go.
Which Harry Potter character is part giant?
I'm just.
What's that?
Hagrid.
Haggard to horrible. Yeah, nice job. Nice job.
He actually just passed away earlier this year.
Oh, the guy who played Hagrid.
Yeah, that sucked, man.
Was that the guy that was just a little bit, his face was a little bit messed up, kind of?
I mean, he was chubby and he had like all the red stuff on his
different guys.
Who's the guy with the, you mean like the actor has a messed up face?
Well, he looks like there's something wrong going on.
From Harry Potter.
I don't want to. We'll do that on.
Come on, man, write it down. Because I want to know. Who has the messed up face?
Miles, keep the shovel in your hand. Who's the guy with the messed up hand?
I don't know. I don't watch that crap. I just saw that he died.
I mean, he's a heavy-set dude, but
no, it's not.
Is this the guy you're thinking of?
No, not the same guy. No,
that's why I want to know.
The other guy, you're like, hey, man, what happened to you?
You're saying just like if you look at the actor himself.
Did your mom hold her breath? What?
Dude, we used to work with a guy. He worked at a different radio station, but I swore, and I'll stand by this, if his mother, in the entire 9 months that she was pregnant with him, held her breath for even 3 more seconds, things would have been different. I was just like, brother, you're riding the line, man. I mean, I'm looking at this guy like, there's no way you form normally in the womb. You know what I'm saying?
This guy?
No, not that guy. All right.
Well, I was like, Warwick Davis is a dwarf, so.
Oh, I wasn't talking
about
sure.
Yeah,
no. More Big Dummy coming up. 206-803 Rock.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Men's Room World Tour stop number 4 is happening as we head to Bremerton at the 884 Pub. We'll see you Saturday, September 9th, 3 until 6. Beer, food, music, Men's Room Original Ale, and salsa. With the roasted red salsa from San Juan Salsa Company there as well. Great looking bar over there in Bremerton, the 884. Sure. They got pizza and wings and everything else, all the good stuff. By the way, the event is absolutely free if you're 21 years of age or older.
You like that?
We'll play a little Big Dummy, little Dirty Big Dummy, little Ted versus the FCC, all the fun stuff, and we'll drink some beers and toast with a shot of the day. Hopefully you can stop by the 884 Pub in Bremerton if you're on that side. Saturday, September 9th from 3 until 6.
Is it the 884 or the 884?
I don't know.
I said it.
The 884.
I thought it was 884. I did notice Miles said 884.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Right.
I just keep saying 884.
I could say the 884.
Yeah, the 884. Yeah. There's so many different ways to say, but the same address. That's the beauty. You can go to the 884, the 884.
I wonder what it means.
You think it's like a cop code or something?
Area code?
Well, I looked up the area code. It says it's just the area code for like North America.
Okay, that's pretty
we are
broad.
in North America.
Yes.
That's good.
They're correct.
And it adds up to 20. The 20 Pub?
Maybe. If it were the 4884, and then we go 420. I see what you did there. But it's not, so I don't know. The 20. Go to
We'll figure it out on September 9th.
All the details on the Men's Room World Tour, stop number 5 in Bremerton at KISW.com. All right, the game is Big Dummy, 206-803 Rock.
Oh, by the way, fellas, some texts have come in correcting me. I asked what you call someone with blonde hair. It's a toe head.
Toe.
Yeah.
That would probably remove a lot of the confusion.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't jump back as much on that one.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Danny, sober, not sober?
Not sober.
Welcome to Big Dummy, sir. All right, our Men's Room poll. You're going to come home to 1. Wasps in your walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking dog diarrhea.
Dog diarrhea.
Definitely. No question. Love it. I wonder how many of those indoor ring cameras have caught their dog gushing out the butt, you know what I mean? And if they got into the chocolate chips. All right, Danny, here is your question. What is the name of Chip and Joanna Gaines' lifestyle brand?
Oh, man. I don't know. Fake people.
Fake
Incorporated.
people.
I don't know, man.
So close.
Are they home improvement people?
Yeah, they had a show. They've blown up. Now they have their own thing going on. I'll give you a hint. It's a very out-of-the-way Seattle neighborhood.
You talking to me?
Magnolia?
Magnolia. That's the name of the brand, yeah.
All right.
All right, your question. Ted came up with this question. What is Baby Yoda's actual name?
Man, somebody can't. This was on Beat Migs the other day. Is it Grogu?
It is Grogu.
Grogu.
There you go.
Of course it is.
So would you have known this if they did not do it on Beat Migs?
Oh, hell no. No way.
What is what's the latest incarnation of the Star Wars franchise on Disney?
Ahsoka.
And are we weeks away from that, maybe?
They're on episode 3, brother.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I watched the first 2 episodes. I almost watched the other one last night. But
how is it?
I liked it, man. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I did. But I mean, I'm a Star Wars guy.
I haven't watched any of those series, any of the shows that I didn't enjoy. They're all different, but I still
very different, yeah.
I still like them all.
And Rosario Dawson, I'm sorry, she's hot. And I understand that she's kind of red and has these weird blue and white things going off the top of her head. And I'm still like, seriously, I'm watching it last week, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, those things on her head are gross. They're supposed to be like biological, you know what I mean? Like big fat octopus tentacles, and I'm still like, I would hit that in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Yep. Grab her by the weird tentacles and just go to town.
Game is Big Dummy, 206-803-ROCK.
I'm not even kidding, Mike. Like, I'm just looking at her, and I'm like, yeah, I'd still do it. But as you start going down that rabbit hole, I'm like, I wonder what those things would feel like in my hand. Or like, does she want you to pull them when we're having sex? I don't know.
I don't think you're alone there, bud.
Okay. It's good to know.
What's the name of that show?
AHSOKA.
I'm sure you can find it. What's it, like Rule 34?
I'm sure someone's already drawn it out. Hello, Stuart. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys.
Hola.
Wait, I'm not supposed to find her attractive because she's wearing, I don't know.
Even those things on her head, right?
Yeah,
Stuart, are you sober or not sober?
I'm sober.
All right, Stuart, welcome to Big Dummy. Okay, our men's room poll. Come home to 1. Wasps in your walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Yeah, I really don't understand all these people that want to hang out with their pooping dogs. I mean, do their friends just suck? Gotta be a party.
I thought you were going to do remnants of a burglary. Okay, all right. Party it is.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
where you're tracking.
A lot of times after you have a party in your home, you also discover remnants of a robbery.
Yes, you do.
All right, here is your question. Who are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Larry, Curly, Moe, and Shemp.
No, it's Gary, John, Brentford. Man, this is so great. My dad's a minister. I should know this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably brought it up 1 or 2 times.
Well, what are the 4 horses of Mount Rushmore? Let's think about this. You got Black Beauty. You got Lone Ranger's? What's his?
Silver.
Yeah, you got Silver. You got Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed has to be there,
and there's got to be one more, right?
Are we going fictional horses? Or are we going? Yeah, BoJack.
All right, BoJack.
Mr.
There
Ed,
you go. They're right there.
And Silver. Yeah, Hi-Yo Silver.
I mean, if you did a Mount Rushmore of the horses, you know.
The horses, you know. So what do you guess?
We'll go Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys.
I think that's his answer.
Backstreet Boys, yeah.
Is it pestilence, war, famine, and death?
Conquest, war, famine, and death.
All right.
All right.
And Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Originally, there were 7. But then they said, man, we don't like this Armageddon thing. We're really into breakfast cereal. So they let them go, and that's how we've gotten to know them. All right. Your question, who replaced Matt Lauer on the Today Show?
Oh, my God. Morning television. Michael Strahan.
No, Michael Strahan and eventually replaces everyone. Hoda Kotb. Hoda was the actual replacement for Matt Lauer. Which show is, what's his face? Gappy. What's his name? Strahan. No, he was with her. He's not
No,
there
then
now.
he left.
In other words, which network? Is he ABC, CBS, or NBC? I honestly have no idea. I know he does morning.
He does a game show.
Yeah, he does the Pyramid.
I don't know. It's tough because he works on 2 networks. He's one of the few people that goes back and forth.
He's on Fox for football, correct? Right, but he's not on a Fox.
Is he on Good Morning America, ABC?
I don't. Fox. I might throw him. Feed me on Fox.
Well, the one Seahawk is on CBS this morning.
Who?
Wide receiver.
Burleson. Yeah.
Burleson. Nate he does the morning on
Yeah,
there.
he's starting to float around a lot too, man.
He does that in Nickelodeon.
That's correct.
He's Strahan's on Good Morning America.
Good Morning America. On ABC. All right, here's your question. Which organ secretes insulin?
Pancreas.
There you go.
Well done, sir.
Nice job. Game is Big Dummy 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Paul. Welcome to the men's room.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hola, Paul. Are you sober or not sober?
The lab says you're going to jail. All
right. You're going to come home to one, Paul.
Okay, go ahead. I'm in-betweener.
All right. You're going to come home to one. Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party.
I'm going to go a surprise party because BJ's birthday is tomorrow.
Okay. But it would be your party for you.
No, it's a surprise party. See, everyone screams surprise. They think it's for him. It's actually for BJ, and that's where the surprise is, you see.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, here is your question. What is the largest French-speaking city outside of France?
Paris.
Outside of France.
Outside of France. I don't know.
I'll say Montreal.
It is, in fact, Montreal.
Montreal. Oh, Canada. Wow, okay.
There is a Quebec City.
There is a
We're
Quebec
just
City.
laughing. His Mike mouthed to me Quebec, and I was like, Quebec is a province. And he's like, oh, yeah, now you know everything about Canada.
It was like, fine, Quebec City,
By
whatever.
the way, if you ever get a chance, go to both of those towns if you're single.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my.
I have never heard.
Oh, my.
It doesn't matter what coast I've lived on. People, white people, black people, everybody's like, go to Montreal.
Oh, yeah?
Go.
Yes.
For the people watching.
Like the range of friends I have told me, like, go to Montreal.
Yes.
We're taking a trip
It's
to
a
Montreal.
little bit of Europe in North America, but with hot women everywhere.
Okay. I'll book the trip. I mean, just in San Diego, San Francisco. Jesus H, man. Those are the ugliest
Your
people ever.
your son's going to love it.
Oh, his head.
How hard are they, though?
Are they what?
How hard are they? Are they, like, really hot or just kind of like,
They're just
Everyone is telling you to go. Chances are they're real hot.
You'll blend, Paul. You're a good-looking guy.
We're sure of it. All right, Paul.
I hope so.
Here's your question.
Well, every time there's a higher percentages of attractive people, then your chances go up of hooking up with one of them.
That is correct.
Like at Scottsdale, I was shocked at some of the women that would talk to us, but they're a dime a dozen.
Right.
So they got to fight.
Gaggle of them.
All right, your question. What farm animal is the closest living relative to the Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Oh, I used to watch the ostrich.
You're close. It's the chicken.
It is the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I knew that because I watched that show with my late wife, and yep, chickens were actually like 6 to 8 feet tall.
I'd have some Tyrannosaurus wings.
In a heartbeat. And a freaking heartbeat. All right, your question. What is the name of the clown in the movie It?
Oh, Pennywise.
All right. There you go, Paul. Very good. Game is Big W 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Craig. Welcome to the men's room.
Yo,
Hola. Craig, are you sober or not sober?
Sober, sir.
All right, Craig. Welcome to Big Dummy. Okay, our men's room, Paul, you're going to come home to one of these. Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party.
Party.
Taking the party. All right.
I like to think the surprise party just had all those things going on.
That would be a surprise.
All right, surprise party, Craig. Here is your question. Which artist made history in 2020 as the youngest winner of the Grammys' 4 main categories? It's like album of the year, record of the year, song of the year, best new artist.
I don't like pop music. Sam Smith.
Bieber?
Nope. Come on, Ted.
Taylor Swift?
Bieber is older than 20
Billie
years.
Eilish. Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
Oh, I like her, actually.
I like wow. Billie Eilish, yeah.
I don't watch the Grammys, though.
Yeah, I don't either, to be honest with you, man. All right, here's a question.
And it's funny, is I don't know that I would call her pop.
I don't know what you call her.
Yeah, she's kind of
moody, doing her own thing.
She works on the end.
Yeah, basically that'd be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, your question. What blood vessels carry blood towards the heart?
Arteries?
Veins.
Veins.
Specifically carry the blood toward the heart. All right, Craig, your question. Which is the oldest Kardashian sister?
Kim?
That would be my guess.
Oh, no, it's Courtney.
Courtney.
I did the same thing.
Which one is OJ's daughter? Is that Chloe? Is she the
Chloe,
one?
I think, yeah.
That's the one people say that about.
Yeah, I say it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look at him, you're like, look, man, your mom was shacking up with OJ, and I'm just looking at you, and you look a lot like OJ Simpson.
You don't pay for rentals at Hertz, do you?
She's had a lot of stuff done. She looks like a different person.
Mm-hmm. So we'll start with the OJ jokes. All right, your question. What shortage killed over 1 million Irish people in the 1840s?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Very good. Big W is the game, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Justin on Team Sober or Team Not Sober today?
Team sober.
All right. Justin, what are you taking on the what you coming home to? Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Well, I don't have a dog, so that'd be kind of weird. But I'm gonna go with the surprise party.
Surprise party.
I really wish you picked the dog diarrhea, just based on the fact that you don't have a dog. All right.
Oh, for the Four Horsemen, have you guys tried the Four Horsemen shot? It's absolutely terrible.
What's in it?
So think of the Four Horsemen of whiskey. So that's Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Johnny Walker, and Jameson.
Why would anyone do that?
I have no idea. Someone bought it for me on my 21st birthday, and it was freaking nasty.
Okay, never mind. Right.
Wait, when I was a bartender, that's the only time we ever. It's always a 21st birthday run shot. Yeah.
Okay, that explains it.
But I thought it. I guess it is whiskey. Maybe we screwed it up. I don't remember putting Jameson. I remember putting in Jose.
Oh,
yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, he was the death.
Yeah,
good
Jose
God.
on top of all the whiskeys.
Correct. Worse.
Does it matter at that point, Mike? When you really think about it, if you're already mixing those together,
The others is just a really bad whiskey blend. You throw in the tequila on top of that.
I mean, look, it was awful, but it was a 21 run.
Right.
They weren't paying for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think anyone that's paid for a Four Horsemen shot drink it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, here's your question. What radio DJ was the original voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo and Robin from the Super Friends?
Oh, I can picture his face. I can't remember the name.
Typical radio. I can picture his face, but I can't remember your name. You want to hit him with the Miles? Come on, Mom.
God damn it.
Why do they send me these damn letters about puppies?
He was on every radio. He was on every city, every Saturday or Sunday
morning.
J.C. Keaton?
There you go.
There you go.
Nice job, Justin.
Oh, is that one and done?
That is one and done.
All right, hang on there, Justin. We have our one and done true or false. Is he just like eating styrofoam or something?
I think so.
The one and done true or false Wizard of Oz questions. Here's your question. After Dorothy left Oz to return to Kansas, the lion was then killed by poachers who sold his body parts on the black market.
Oh, definitely. I saw the rug.
Yep. Yeah, the follow-up, man. It was but high dollar for that stuff.
Sure was.
You know, then years later, from the actual movie, that's the lion that the dad wore in Coming to America.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
That's a
I'll be
little known, but it all comes full circle.
Hollywood's an evil place.
Yeah. Let's do one more contestant in the game known as Big Dummy. 206-803.
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor with no whores.
Oh, yeah. Steve, are you sober or not sober?
Well, I've got a day off, so I'm kind of not sober.
All right.
Oh, I see. So you have no horse.
I'm sorry?
You said liquor with no horse, so I said, all right, so that's why you said that. You have the liquor, you have no horse.
Getting drunk and not having sex.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep.
I think given the chance, though, I would take the horse.
Yes.
All right, Steve, what are you going to come home?
Are you going to ask me if I'm drunk or sober?
We just did.
Which really reaffirms your answer.
Yeah, you said you were home, you had the day off, and you said liquor and no horse. So we just did the quick math there, Steve. Yeah. Steve, you're going to come home to one. Wasps in the walls, dog diarrhea, remnants of a burglary, or a surprise party?
Well, fellas, I'm going to go with a surprise party because today is my 52nd birthday and no one said happy birthday to me.
Well, happy frickin' birthday. Surprise!
Thank you, Steve.
All right, here's your question. I cannot believe I'm going to ask you this, but I tried to go in order that the questions show up. What is served in a cockalin heated above a rayshooed?
Well, I'm drunk and I don't know what any of those words mean.
That's
so
why I
I'm
didn't
going
want to
to say
ask
a
you.
horseshoe cocktail.
Say that again.
What is served in a cockalin heated above a rayshooed?
Butter.
No, we have all had this experience.
That's a pretty good guess.
We've all had this experience. In fact, we did it together.
Is that absinthe?
No, it's a food. It's kind of multiple fondue.
Uh-huh.
So the cockalin is the
I
tray.
don't know. How can I know?
What's that, Steve?
I said, if your boys don't know, how can I know, Thrill?
Well, I'm the one who has the answers. I mean, that's why I quote unquote know.
I haven't had fondue with you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Years ago. We were all together. My wife was there. Miles, or at that time, there were fiancés. You were there. I can't remember what the place was.
It was the melting pot.
The melting pot. And we all said, you don't remember and this is one of the few times I remember something you don't. And Miles, at the end of it, one of the meats was rabbits, and Miles cooked that and then dipped it in chocolate to see how it was.
I remember you guys going.
You weren't there? No. Man, I would swear you were there. You know what? My memory.
I was like, now you're including me in memories I wasn't involved.
Ted wasn't there to watch Miles.
I will tell you a
But you
quick
were there
story.
when he conceived his children.
I did go to one for Miggs. I was in his wedding, and we did like a everybody meet each other down in Tacoma. And I was the only one there single. And I went to order something, and the guy loudly said, well, that's for two. Or he goes, do you have somebody with you? And I said, no. And he goes, well, it's for two people.
Really?
I said, okay, but just tell me what to order. That's
yeah, right. I'm hungry. Does that work? Does it? Why do you care?
I know.
I mean, okay, thanks. Rub it in.
Like, he left the room, and he was like, you all right? I was like, yeah, that just seemed aggressive.
It is a bit aggressive.
Wait, you're by yourself?
Oh, come on, loser. All right, Steve, here's your question. What island is Pearl Harbor located on?
Maui?
Oahu?
Oahu.
Ah.
All right, Steve, your question. We go to the world of baseball. What number does each player wear every year on April 15th in Major League Baseball?
Oh, geez, I know nothing about baseball. I'm going to say 15.
32?
42.
Oh, my God. 40.
Damn it, Ted.
Jackie Robinson did.
Yeah, I know. I feel like an idiot.
All right, your question. What kind of fruit juice is used to mix a Tom Collins?
I'm going to guess
Gonna guess what?
grapefruit.
Lemon juice.
Oh.
Question 5, Steve.
I should just buy the mix.
Lemon juice in there, Ted.
All right, let's see here. All right, your question. How many time zones are there around the world?
25?
25. The day is 24 hours long. There are 24 time zones.
Damn, that makes sense.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, but some of them got funny time with that. There might have been something in there somewhere.
All right,
good
Steve.
thinking.
We got time for one more question, okay? So we think you can nail this one.
Do we?
I don't know.
Make it easy.
I've been trying. Here's your question.
Oh, no, you have not.
Oh, I really
How
have.
many time zones?
In a 24-hour period. All right. What is added to white sugar to make brown sugar?
Cinnamon?
Oh, I'm afraid it is not cinnamon. Molasses.
Molasses. Head Chef is coming up with foods that famous chefs refuse to eat. And we'll get your emails on the way next in the men's room at KISW.com.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Melvin Robert from the TV show Extra. Every day on our show, we talk to the biggest celebrities and the biggest newsmakers around. We get exclusive details about hookups and breakups, baby news, and the behind-the-scenes info from your favorite TV shows and movies. But we can only fit so much on our show. That's where Extra the podcast comes in. Listen and follow Extra the podcast and Odyssey Podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Head Chef on the way. Ted's Meat Potatoes has foods that the famous celebrity chefs refuse to eat. Mm-hmm. But first, time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Jump right in the birthdays. Ola Men's Room today is Kayla Ray's birthday. Can you please send her some birthday wishes? She is from Mississippi, but she lives here in Everett, Washington. Thank you, guys. That from Melody Bales. I don't know. Give her your penis is too small. Guys, today is my fiance's Randy's birthday. He's worked hard his entire life to get where he is. I'm extremely lucky to have him in my life. I love you. Could you please give him some shotgun gets? Are your penises too small? And the Dirty German's talking about replacing the axle shaft in my Cadillac. You guys are the best. Thanks so much. That from the lovely Cindy. Get.
Yeah, I like these euphemisms that you come up with, replacing the axle shaft in your new Cadillac. I'm assuming the Cadillac is your ass and the replacement is have a second man.
Yeah, so that's the other funny thing is we also have to replace the brake pads.
Damn!
Oh, boy. Hello, Michelle's. My name is Jacob, and today is my 31st trip around the sun. Can I get some thrill shotgun gets? But instead of the gun blast, can I get hit with both barrels by Wendy Williams? And maybe the Dirty German's talking about fishing for pink salmon. Thanks, and as always, rock on, guys. Get.
Sorry, finger slipped.
Yeah, pink salmon is the only kind of salmon I ever tried to fish for. I just hold my rod firmly.
See how it's weird? Because yes, the salmon is the king. You sick that he'd have also pink salmon.
Yeah.
Guys, the name is Craig. It's my 40th birthday and don't have anyone that would put in a request for me, so here I go. Looking forward to hearing my name called as I celebrate my 40th birthday. Rock on, bitches. Stay beautiful. Thanks, guys. That from Craig. Give me your penis is too small. Craig. Maybe one of your big farts there, Mike. You can throw out if you want. Here's an unusual one. Good morning, men's room. Please shout out to the man of my life, George, in Auburn, Washington, who is celebrating his 40th birthday today. He is a huge fan and listens to you guys religiously every day. He says the best birthday present that I could give him is a birthday shout-out from his favorite radio show
He
is on delivery routes while at work there.
Now he's going, damn, I should have said mouth hug.
Turning 40 is a big deal. Today we celebrate, so love you. That from Tyra. Song request, if permissible, 9 Inch Nails, I want to F you like an animal. This would mean a lot to him. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome, and have a great day.
Yeah, you know, with the birthday request, man, and we understand if you haven't done this before, we don't actually play a song for you that take up too much time. But we are the men's room. The listener always comes first. We care about you. And one of the people we work with, you might know Hank the Tank, the big black bear. What he did, he put together a little something that he says will replace the 9 Inch Nails song for this birthday request.
Ooh, I wanna you like. Oh my God, that feels so good. Ooh. Is that Hidden Valley Ranch? You don't have to rinse it off. Just put it in my paw.
Well, that was nice.
Fellas, I would like to wish my good friend Cornfed a happy 43rd birthday. He's an amazing friend and an awesome fisherman. To help him celebrate, would you please give him a cat fart, a rhino fart, and please ask Captain Horatio Crunch to give Cornfed some advice on fishing locations by sharing with him some of the 7 seas the captain prefers to dangle his long rod over. Rock on, bitches. You guys are the greatest. That from your loyal listener, Steve in Bothell.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. I appreciate you calling me Horatio. Normally only my mother says that, but take it from the old Capitan if you want to take your boat off the coast of Denmark and position it over Atlantica. You know who lives in the kingdom of Atlantica, Ted?
I do not.
The Little Mermaid. I Googled it just this morning. But let's just say that us mascots dangle our rods over the old SS Guppy and she delivers. Let's just say the fish are biting. And we introduced a new sandwich. We offered it to McDonald's based on a Little Mermaid called Fellatio of Fish. They turned it down. Crunch berries.
And finally, on the birthdays, guys, I've always wanted to do this for my boyfriend, but I always forget to write in. Not this year. His name is Tim, or a.k.a. Mr. Timms. 45 years old, very hard worker, and an amazing father. He's been working on weekends to fix his dad's house, who he lost last year. Hasn't had a day off in months. How about a fish sandwich, a bong rip, Suck It Up cupcake, and Ted doing a pep talk about how he gets to do all the fishing and hunting next year. Thanks you guys for always making us laugh. That from his girlfriend Rachel.
Fish sandwich. Are you sure?
So, suck it up, cupcake!
What's his name?
Tim or Mr. Timms?
All right, Mr. Timms. First of all, sorry about your dad. You're doing the right thing there. Well, doing the tough thing. Working on his house. But you're a hunter. You like to fish. So what are we going to do? Next year, we're going to take off September and October. Well, the weekends at least. And then you're going to spend a week in those woods, walking through them. And son, you're going to live out a goddamn song. Because you're going to be hunting, fishing, and loving every day.
All right, guys, here we go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Mmm, Schweinefly.
Time to open wide and sample Ted's meat. And potatoes. Now, here's your host, head chef of the Men's Room, the Ted Nugent.
Head chef is in the house.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
You're a head chef. I mean, I know you're going to talk about celebrity chefs, but you're kind of one.
Yeah, these chefs are more famous than I am.
Well, but still, what is the food that you, as a famous chef at Slither, what do you refuse to eat that most people like?
For the most part, mushrooms.
I knew that'd be the answer.
Not tomatoes anymore?
Tomato I could fight through. I'll still generally order a sandwich without it. But again, I love bruschetta, so there's certain tomatoes I do enjoy.
I'm right there with you. It's weird.
And once in a while on a certain sandwich, there's a sandwich throw I enjoy, and that thing is spicy enough where I do enjoy a little tomato on that one.
Okay. Is there a way that a mushroom could be prepared that you would get crab stuff, something like that? Is there anything that you ever tried? Not bad.
I've tried them every way you can, and I've had chanterelles that were just cooked in butter. Right. So
it's kind of a steaky.
I go back and forth. If I'm going to eat a mushroom, it's probably because it's on a pizza and it's just in the cheese, and I just kind of fight through it.
All right.
But it's very rare. Like one of the times it happened to me, we were at having a bonfire in somebody's backyard, and they were like, "Hey, we got a Costco pizza," and I was like, "Awesome." Now, unbeknownst to me, somebody else had picked all these fresh mushrooms, but it's dark out. Right, but I don't really know the crowd. So, once I bite into it, I'm just like, I'm going to have to fight through this.
Now I got to do this.
I tell you what,
I got to eat it.
I can eat mushrooms a million different ways. I absolutely loathe them on pizza.
I know, which a lot of people say. And trust me, I wish I liked mushrooms because they show up so many different
they do.
places, and there's so many different varieties. And the mushroom itself, I mean, it's like life. It's just a cool little thing that happens. Mushrooms, and then the other one I catch a lot of heat on is kale. Like, I just don't like the taste of it.
People are surprised.
Most people don't.
I can't believe anyone actually likes kale. I understand like its benefits, but when the kale thing was big, I didn't meet a lot of people that necessarily enjoyed it. It was just more like, I can get it down because I already
you get this better than anybody, but generally when you bring up vegetables, either people go, you just don't like vegetables, or they go, no, I actually like a lot of vegetables, and they go, well, you've just never had kale the way I make it.
God, you're right, man. People say that all the time. Do you make it out of meat?
I would also say organs.
Yeah,
I'm not really big on like liver or heart or any of that stuff. But I'll eat, is tongue an organ?
Yeah.
All right, beef tongue's not bad. So these are, they're saying, look, everybody's kind of picky about certain things they eat and won't eat. So these are 13 famous chefs and foods they won't eat, basically if they don't have to.
Okay.
Miles, I'm going to start out with a gut punch for you.
All right.
Because I think you, like all of us, you very much enjoyed this man and his shows, Anthony Bourdain.
Very much so.
He's the only one that just picked a restaurant. He didn't like Johnny Rockets. You preach about you're Johnny Rockets guy.
I used to go there all the time when my kids were young and we were going to the movie theater and they were on top of
right
the
there. Pacific Place.
Pacific Place. Yeah, but I haven't been there in a while.
All right, let's see. Guy Fieri doesn't like eggs.
We've known that for a long time. If you watch his show, he is adamant about not getting into the egg world. Matter of fact, I think he suggests that they don't do anything that requires eggs so he can be a part of it. Seriously.
I just feel like that just rules out so much of breakfast.
It does, but he typically doesn't do the breakfast foods on his show more than he does the lunch and dinner stuff.
But does he freak out? So if you don't like eggs, you don't like eggs. But you still might like mayo. You still might like hollandaise sauce. Or is he just straight up like, if the eggs are in it, I want
I think you're exactly right. I just don't think he likes eggs.
Right, he doesn't like eggs, but obviously they use them in recipes.
Yeah, you have to, right?
Right, I was going to say, you can't really cook without using eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Ramsay. Look, he's like a lot of people. He doesn't like pineapple pizza.
Okay, fair. Yep. Fair.
Which also, again, I like Hawaiian pizza. If somebody just ordered a pineapple pizza, I'd go, that's a little strange.
That is weird. Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would do that before mushrooms. Because there's variants. I've heard of people say, like, dude, you got to add jalapeno peppers. I like spicy stuff. I've had that before. I'm like, all right, I get that. The hot and the sweet.
Well, I think the weird thing is I'm not like the biggest pineapple fan, but I thoroughly enjoy Hawaiian pizza. Ina Garnett, she says she won't cook with canned beets and doesn't like canned tomatoes.
Well, that's tough with sauce. As far as, like, making anything that's, puree.
Canned beets, I get it, man.
Right.
I wouldn't use beets, period.
Right. Thank you.
That's another one that, like, got really famous there and kind of was, like, the in vegetable, but, like, out.
Also, the aluminum of the can can mess up the
for sure.
the flavor a little bit. So I can understand that. For somebody who actually, a famous chef who's actually got a good palate that can actually taste the difference, you bet. Yeah. I can understand that.
Bobby Flay, this one seems like it really shouldn't be on the list. That's, everybody's picky. He just doesn't like durian fruit.
Oh, no, okay, again, right?
Are you being picky? Are you being picky?
So basically, you like everything.
Rachel Ray, says she is creeped out by shelf-stable mayonnaise. Meaning she'll make a mayonnaise or an aioli. She just doesn't like the idea that it's just sitting on the shelf for months or years.
She's never had Dukes.
I mean, I get where she's coming from. Because a lot of times after you make certain things from scratch, you wonder how other things exist. Mayonnaise kind of makes no sense, but I don't care. Like, I'm fine with it. But from her point of view, I get it. Like, it's an egg-based product. Mm-hmm. You can just store it in your fridge or whatever, and it doesn't go bad.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Real quick.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. So I can see why she's like, I don't understand what this is.
You're making homemade mayonnaise. I know it involves a lot of eggs and some oil. What else is in mayonnaise?
That's about it. Just egg whites and you can add salt. And you can flavor it the way you want, but that's about it.
Okay. All right.
Has anybody ever tried the flavored mayonnaise?
Baconaise.
Yeah, Baconaise is it.
Right, but I'm saying Best Foods or Hellman's, whatever you want to call it, they have flavored mayonnaise, and I was like, I don't know that I need flavor, right?
If they had smaller jars, I'd be more apt because depending on the sandwich I might make, bacon mayonnaise, right? Perfect. But I wouldn't want the regular size of it because I'm not going to use that much.
I can put a little bit. It's like making speedy sauce or anything else. Ketchup and mayo. I can add barbecue sauce in if I want. I can add.
That's the way I feel about it.
I just need the base of it. Then I don't eat that much damn mayonnaise to have like 7 different varieties. I can put something in mayonnaise to get it where I need it to be.
There's some 13 famous chefs sharing foods they won't eat. Wolfgang Puck. He'd rather do without Japanese Wagyu beef.
Really?
Yeah.
Back to what you were saying earlier.
Well, I saw the list earlier, so it was already in my head.
Yeah.
Credit to him. But I'm just saying, I've had it. I get it. I don't know. There's just so many good steaks.
Right, like you said, at a steak house.
They
don't offer bad steaks. They're already expensive. I don't need to buy your most expensive one.
Right, and even I would say, I said a steakhouse, but also like home too, right? Like, nobody's going to argue that carne asada is like the greatest cut of beef.
But it's delicious.
Right, but the preparation in it and stuff and the way you cook it, it's awesome.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's see. She is beautiful. What's Gita De Laurentiis?
Yeah.
What's Giada?
Yeah. Whatever.
She's not into green bell peppers and won't include them in her recipes.
Fajitas, there's a couple things where I think they're pretty strong. But you know the difference between a green and a red and a yellow pepper?
Age.
Just age.
Right, so Aaron Sanchez, he says he's not a fan of green peppers. He's okay with red and yellow ones, but the green ones don't taste like much of anything. Like, I
disagree. I feel like, to me anyway, green peppers have more taste than red or yellow.
They do.
At least for my palate.
And when you do a tomato, you need to fry it as green because it doesn't have as much flavor. So it's like the opposite in a tomato as far as the ripe.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I like a bell pepper, period.
Sure. I'm down with peppers, but
peppers and sausage. Mm-hmm. That's my jam.
Yeah, and I would say, like sometimes you could buy, you ever get, the little miniature ones?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're good for dipping and stuff. But, if I'm having an Italian sausage and I'm with peppers and onions on it, it better be green peppers.
Yeah. I agree. 100%, man.
Julia Child, she disliked certain types of greens, including iceberg lettuce, cilantro, and arugula.
So she had a bitter, one of those bitter things.
Yeah.
You don't like cilantro.
Now, arugula, love it.
You just got to wash the living
I don't like it, but
I know, but to me, it just tastes like pepper.
That's what everyone says, and I get what they're saying. But I'm like, but that little hint of whatever arugula actually is, it's not peppery. I'm like, I can't.
I used to buy it at the farmer's market. You have to wash it 9 different times to get the sand out of it.
Obviously, a lot of them also said airplane food because, Gordon Ramsay said there's no way he worked on an airline for 10 years. Nobody knows where's food been, how it goes. I feel like really you're just talking to people in first class anymore, though.
Oh, for sure.
The little pre-made meals or snack packs. Who really cares? Curtis Stone isn't a fan of marshmallow, and Carla Hall doesn't like how everyone adds bacon and truffles to everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which,
yeah.
She's not wrong. I agree with that, too. Sometimes it
just gets out of hand.
I don't need truffle oil all the time.
The truffle oil thing drives you up a wall because it's like...
It's not truffle oil.
Right.
That's one. It would cost you...
You can sell it, right, but it's not a truffle, but people would jack up the price. Well, we've got a truffle oil.
But it's not truffle oil. This is something you're calling truffle oil.
Send it back.
Good times. Thank you, Head Chef. We appreciate it. Shot of the Day's coming up. You are listening to The Men's Room.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, so coming up minutes, we'll drink and toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, a quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, thank you, Miles. A new study found that hospitalizations of people with foreign objects in the forbidden zone are on the rise. A lot of people falling in the shower these days.
Million and one shot, Doc. Million and one shot.
Right.
Speaking of that, Doc, I had that done to me this morning.
You've been complaining about that all day off the air.
Well,
Miles.
I've got a Vaseline drip going on, which is, or whatever they do, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. But the weird thing was, I wasn't even at the doctor. I was just on the bus coming in.
Oh, Lordy.
But, yeah.
Is this a routine checkup, or you got a blown gasket?
No, I went in for my routine physical, but they did that again, and I can't imagine that would be something that would be pleasurable for anybody to put anything up there.
No. Sure.
Including a finger.
They just haven't found the right nerves back there, Miles.
And there's something different between
doing
something for pleasure and having a clinical procedure.
Yes, for sure.
Yes,
it's not like women get fired up when they go get checked on.
You know what? That's a fair call, Ted.
Oh, yeah, Doc.
You know what I mean?
That's a fair call. You know what? Yeah. And that can be a fun time for most women, but then as soon as they go into the doctor, I don't think I've heard a good review from anybody on that in that regard. So, a new study found beer goggles are actually a myth.
I'm not so sure.
Here's
wait a minute.
thing.
Is it a myth just because it lowers your inhibitions? All right, so beer goggles is just kind of the term.
Exactly. So beer goggles do not make anybody more attractive the drunker that you get.
Sure?
Yes, because my thing is that they're not more attractive.
You're just more willing to.
Correct. When you drink, you get a little amorous. You want things to be getting down, and after a while, the bar just kind of starts coming down a little bit.
So I've had one night stands. You wake up and you go, "What in the F was I thinking?"
Right, because then you come
and
to
so
your
are
senses. Right, and they come to their senses.
You're just looking at each other like, ew.
Oh, this was a mistake.
Let's not talk about this.
I'm sorry. Half of the meat consumed in the U.S. is being eaten by 12% of the population.
I read that today.
I read that's said a handful of times this week.
So mostly men between 50 and 65, but yeah.
That doesn't show.
How many times
of people eat 50% of the meat?
How many times a week do you think you eat red meat?
Red meat.
On average,
my red meat consumption has gone way down. I would say a month. I eat it maybe twice.
Tonight's my red meat night, so I've been doing it that way.
I will say,
not that I'm chicken wings.
Absolutely.
The other night. I mean, that's not good
I will
either,
say, if I eat red meat, we are going out someplace and I'm getting it there.
Right. And it's probably a burger.
Back to the steak in my refrigerator that I need to make.
Well, and look at it.
And I just ate a little bag of jerky. I didn't even think about it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But also look at how our society has progressed. Back in the old days, it was steak and eggs for breakfast, and then you had
steak and potatoes for dinner.
Exactly. And the more culinary cultures come out and the different avenues that we're all taking. I mean, for the fifth straight year, the Mediterranean diet is number one everywhere that everybody's given a go. I
had no idea.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. A lot of grains. Some vegetables in there.
Are they the ones that are big on fish as well, or is that
the Mediterranean diet? I wouldn't be shocked. Ted, you're the head chef.
There's got to be a lot of fish involved.
I would think so.
Yeah.
My problem is whenever I think Mediterranean, I just think Greek.
I know. I think euros.
You're not wrong.
Oh, cool. I'm going to see euros.
Exactly. Which, you know what? There's another one. It's just euros. Yeah, they put lamb in yours, but
lamb's delicious.
It's fantastic.
It is really good.
Don't tell my wife.
You know what's fun? I'm with you. I love lamb, but there is some people that don't like it, and I tried to sneak it into a recipe, and they were like, "There's lamb in this."
They will know.
Damn.
Yeah, lamb is so distinctive.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I've been talking about it all day long, but times change. That is probably the only constant that we ever get in life is that times do change. That also includes how we address each other negatively. I'm talking about insults. And then when we look in the Wayback Machine at some of the insults that we hurled at each other way back in the day, they can be a little bit cringy. So you know what? Let's dive right into it.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10. 10 90s insults boomers use that baffle Gen Z. My formative years were the 90s. I don't recall many insults, but I will offer up chillax, booyah, even noob. But one that deserves its place in the lexicon is the reaction we have to sing a fine piece of the female persuasion.
Lady.
Thank you, Wayne Campbell, for giving us swing.
You guys remember any of the old insults? Not necessarily the 90s. I do have a list of 90s, but, in the 80s, maybe the 70s, things that...
I mean, depending culturally, you could be
square was not good.
Square was a big one.
Jive turkey.
Yeah.
And then the threats. Dork. The threats are the ones I remember most.
Which is a whale
knuckle
penis.
Sandwich.
Sure.
I mean, that was an absolute threat.
You're right. Dork was a big one when I was in elementary school.
And
dork, nerd.
There's some that just don't stand the test of time, where you look back and I'm like, you're the geek now.
I know.
So these are 90s insults that Boomer used, but to be honest with you, we all used them in the 90s. Loser, just straight up loser comes up there at the bottom of the list. In the 90s, if you were called a loser, then it was a way of someone belittling you, suggesting that you're unsuccessful and inadequate. You're a loser. I feel like even today, I don't use it much just because it's not top of mind, but when I think of somebody that I want to call a loser, it's not just the straight up loser that you knew in the 90s, like, no, you just suck.
I feel like the difference now is that, in the 90s, Ted, you're a loser, right? You say it directly.
Loser.
Now, it would be like Mike would say, man, so what's up with this guy, Ted? Well, he's a loser. Yeah, it's just different.
Actually, I think it's more on the family tip as far as, she still dates that loser.
Right. You say things like
but
that.
you would never say it to their face. You would say it to people that are close.
But in the 90s, you straight up, that's what you told them.
I'm with Mike. To me, if I use it nowadays,
if I say it, like it's not like a throwaway thing. I'm just like these people just don't have their act together. Like they're just they're legit losers.
I feel like when you say it now, you're dismissing them almost from your life.
Yes.
I don't associate with him. He's just a loser.
Correct. Poser.
That was
Poser
a huge
was
one.
a good
one.
I do like Poser.
I feel like Poser is another one that'll still bubble up, and you know who the poser is.
Right.
I don't know why parachute pants come to mind, but, you know.
Or more involved into scenester. Basically, you're playing the role.
Yeah, you're playing the role.
You're playing
to
the
be
role.
a part of the scene. So like Poser, like when I was coming up, man, like Metallica and Iron Maiden, and when Poison came along, shit, posers. Instant, I mean, it rained down from the clouds. They were absolutely, not just my opinion, that was certainly my opinion, but I mean, that was what everyone said. They're posers.
Posers were people that wished that they were like the cool people are. The cool people are naturally
cool.
They don't think about it. They don't have to put on a front. They don't have to put any really effort into being as cool as they are. Then again, you get the posers that sit there and they will tell you all day long how cool they are.
Right, yeah. Poser.
Yeah. So, I think also now there's a lot more terms for stuff.
I agree. Like, everything varies.
Look,
you can say the same message, but there's like 15 different ways.
I can go to a metal show,
and if I put on a leather vest, and if I put on, I don't know, Doc Martens that come up to my ankles and everything else,
I don't dress like that. So I'm posing to be
right.
That,
you're a poser.
But if you dress like that every day and you like that music and you go to the show, you're not. You're not. That's you. But if I don't look like myself,
yeah,
right. Like Danny, right, from like BJ and Migs. Like he likes emo.
Yes.
Right? He dresses kind of the emo style. He hosts emo night. Now, if I went to watch him do emo night, I might try to put together an outfit that looked like. But if I came in with two different colored pair of shoes, if I was just wearing a pair of Vans, you'd be like, what? You're
right. If you showed up with makeup all over your face, black paint on your nails, it's like, what the hell are you doing, Ted?
Yeah, right. I know. That's what I was like, yeah, complete. Like, for instance, when I was in Montana, I had a temporary tattoo on my neck. Poser.
One that's had a resurgence in my life here recently, a dweeb.
Oh, wow, yeah. Dweeb in a while.
And dweeb is another one where, yes, back in the 90s, it was thrown around a little bit too quickly. But I feel like that one hits harder now if you bring it back.
Because you can't think of another word to describe this person.
You know the dweeb in your life. And it's not an endearing term at all.
Ever.
But you can't be a big guy and be a dweeb.
And I will say that there is nothing wrong with...
You can, but it seems to me it's associated with people who are not like Hulk Hogan.
No, to me, dweeb always strikes me as something really nerdy. So you can look like Hulk Hogan, but like... If you play D&D every night, right, with your buddies, he's a dweeb, though.
Right. Mm-hmm. And there is nothing wrong with being a dweeb.
You just don't want to be called a dweeb.
Correct.
Right.
Wannabe. Yeah. That kind of fits with poser, but wannabe is, I feel like, a step lower than poser. Poser is a bigger insult. However, a wannabe isn't even on poser level yet.
Because a poser, at least, is at the event, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's Miles in the leather vest and your knee-high, and you go, okay... Obviously, he's a poser. The wannabe couldn't even get to the concert.
Correct. Wannabe will talk about how he would have been at the concert, but...
Right. He's wearing the band T-shirt, the whole nine, but it's like, you're one.
Right. 90s insults that boomers use that baffle Gen Z. What's going on, Ted?
I'm just thinking about, like, when I went to George Strait in Stapleton. Like, I put on my buddy's Bass Pro Shop hat, and I was wearing a camo jacket. So I was kind of posing a little bit, but I wasn't going to put on boots and a cowboy like a belt buckle.
Sure.
Because then that would be too much of a wannabe.
That's too much. Yeah, then you're a wannabe, right.
Airhead shows up on the list.
Yeah.
That's just normally someone who's not bright.
Sure. Right. But it was just more insulting in the 90s when people heard it. Where now, you're fine with it.
I also feel like airheads are very nice people.
Yeah, you weren't saying anything about you weren't saying anything about their demeanor. You're talking about like their ability to retain common sense.
The show How I Met Your Mother kind of changed the name of Airhead to Oh Honey.
That was kind of like
bless his heart.
Right, exactly.
Back to the old school, like not the brightest bulb or the sharpest knife or the.
I mean, you ever seen like there was Mike? I'm sure you haven't seen it, but there was a funny movie called Airheads that came out in like the 90s, and it's three dudes. But that's the whole thing is they're just dumb.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You like them, but they were stupid.
Yeah, they don't think anything out. Like, one of them gets laid all the time, and it's like, chicks, I think it's Sandler. And it's like, well, chicks dig this, because he's dumb. Right. But he's good looking.
Right. Dumb, but good looking. 90s insults, as if, which that did seem like an interesting quip.
Well, it's because someone's challenging the validity of something that you just said.
Correct.
Which is going to piss off anyone. No matter how you phrase it, but right, as if was certainly.
But that feels like it's starting a sentence that never gets finished. There's a handful, that is a lot of American slang, is kind of starting a sentence without finishing it. So what is the rest of the as if sentence? As if that were true?
As if I would go out with you?
Right.
It depends, right? It depends on the situation.
They're letting you fill in the blanks so that they don't completely hurt your feelings, right? So, Lisa, would you go to the dance with me? As if you've already had your feelings crushed, but they're kind of like, do you want me to finish the rest of this statement out loud? No.
Right, you could do it with like booze too.
What do you mean?
Like somebody hands you a shot of, I don't know, what's a terrible vodka? Like Crystal or Ruble.
Sure.
As if.
Yes, man.
Nah, I'm not that hard on my luck. I'm 30.
Like, you know what? I feel like you have used that one, Ted.
Actually, I rarely use. I don't remember that one being that big of a deal. I remember it being a massive deal because of Clueless.
The big, yes, and that is actually what they reference in here. It became famous when it was used in the movie Clueless. But the one that I hear you say all the time, Ted, is "Get real."
I use that one all the time.
That is exactly what as if means.
Get real.
Like, you think that's how this is going to go down? Like, get real.
As if.
Probably one of my
goddamn fantasy world.
Probably one of my famous '90s insults. Butt munch.
Butt munch. Yeah.
Whatever. Butt munch. I like that one because it's funny.
Because I always felt like it was a more endearing insult.
Yes.
It didn't mean they dislike you. It's more like your buddy, dude, the Cowboy, I don't know, the Buffalo Bills are going to win a Super Bowl.
Shut up, butt munch.
Right.
I feel it.
Yeah, butt munch, right. That's another
more
one.
friend to friend. But.
Yeah, I'd put that there with like Beavis and Butthead. I don't know that I said it a ton.
Tell you this, if you want to shut somebody up, you don't want them talking to you anymore.
I'll talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand. That's
that. Yeah,
I remember someone telling me that. It's like, okay, hand, can you tell the rest of your body that you're an a-hole?
See, when I was growing up, talk to the hand, I feel, was in like a lot more movies and TV shows than I actually ever heard on like the playground.
I think you're right. It was like in every movie, every TV show. I remember Ricky Lake.
Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand. And the crowd's like, ooh.
I mean, I definitely remember seeing a girl do that to another girl, and she got smacked.
No kidding.
Yeah, she said, talk to the hand. The girl goes,
my hand talks back.
Hand to the face. Right? It was because it was right. Like, it was so rude.
That's funny.
Damn. But then the number one 90s insult that boomers use that baffles Gen Z, to be honest with you, I feel like it's still in use today. Ted, we were talking about it. Tool.
Yeah, still call people tool.
I call people tools all the time.
But generally, again, I feel like
was just one
it's rarely to your face, and it's kind of like we were saying how we use loser now. So again, well, what do you think of this? They're a tool.
Tool shed, toolbox.
Correct.
And then all the other.
And you know what the tool
derivatives.
Right. Oh, hang on. We all know that removing your shoes on a plane is bad form, but one passenger managed to up the ante there, Miles.
How did he do that?
I'll tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Melvin Robert from the TV show Extra. Every day on our show, we talk to the biggest celebrities and the biggest newsmakers around. We get exclusive details about hookups and breakups, baby news, and the behind-the-scenes info from your favorite TV shows and movies. But we can only fit so much on our show. That's where Extra the podcast comes in. Listen and follow Extra the Podcast and Odyssey Podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Want more Men's Room content? Follow the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app and check out my live stream, A Moment with Mike Hawk and Nothing in Particular with Steve the Thrill Hill. Going live Thursdays and Fridays at 1 exclusively on the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app.
Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. Your you're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam. Obviously, we know what's going on with Florida with the hurricane having gone through. Luckily, they avoided the worst, but there was still a lot of flooding. And our boy Derek Van Dam was in Tampa just yesterday morning doing a live shot for CNN. And obviously, he's talking about some of the devastation that was going on there. And specifically, he was standing on a flooded Bay Shore Boulevard. This is an important intersection in Tampa. And he's doing his live talk, and he's talking about all the problems that people are going through, all the terrible situations. And then he realizes, and it kind of proved his point, like there's a lot of flooding. There were two guys, and they are kayaking down the middle of the road. And he kind of motions over his shoulder and says, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. These are the things that people have to deal with. But then he actually kind of looks and says, yeah, I'm going to step away from the seriousness of the storm just for 1 second. You got to bear with me, because this is not something you see every day. So it wasn't just that these two guys were in a kayak trying to get through the live shot there. Their kayak was a camouflage inflatable turtle. And it just,
oh, really? All right.
So the thing was, he's trying to be serious. We understand why, but once he realized what the boat was, he lost it a little bit. But, yeah, actually, the toast should be to the people of Florida, because that's the most Florida thing ever. A giant inflatable camouflage turtle. And they're paddling through the shot. He's just like,
could have been a unicorn.
What in the
camouflage turtle?
Camouflage. I don't even know where you can buy that, man, but that's what they have. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please, everyone, now Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Tony. You understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories today. We have Bite Me, where you have to guess the foreign object that someone found in their food. We have Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that was used as a weapon.
I've been dying to play Interior Decorating, so let's go with that.
All right, here is your story. I had to rewrite this whole thing because I found it in a medical journal. So we go to rural Mississippi, where a 73-year-old farmer walked into the hospital explaining that something was lodged in his rectum. Now, he didn't even lie, so I have abdominal pain. He just straight up told him. So apparently the man lived in the boonies with no indoor plumbing. For that reason, it was his practice to frequent a nearby dumping area for the, quote, purpose of defecation. In other words, he pooped at the dump. So in this case, he explained that because he was also obese, squatting was, quote, awkward. And he explained that he normally used a stout branch or board placed over two boxes or two tree stumps, and that served as a support across his thighs. Now, in this particular case, the wooden support snapped while he was in the act of defecating. He fell heavily to the ground and directly onto something firmly embedded in the ground. And because of his weight, the object, quote, penetrated and lacerated the anal orifice in its passage into the rectum. Now, as you'd expect, this caused excruciating pain, and the man rolled to one side. Unfortunately, as he rolled over, the object snapped. At that point, what was left of the object was now completely contained in the lower rectum. Then his rectum closed completely around the object. This is the guy telling the story straight up. In fact, the doctors investigated, and they're like, we believe him. So doctors pointed out that the patient was remarkably stoic during the examination. Anyway, doctors had to perform an emergency surgery that proved successful, and the man was sent home in satisfactory condition. So the question is, what is the object that got slammed up his backside when he fell while he was pooping? Was it a tree root, a glass bottle, PVC pipe, or a paintbrush? So tree root, glass bottle, PVC pipe, or paintbrush. One of these went directly up his backside when his wooden support snapped while he was defecating.
All right. I don't think you can break a tree root that easy, and I don't know where a paintbrush would be doing out there. So,
no, it's not a dump.
You Oh, that dump. Sorry.
Yeah, he literally. So where he chooses to take a dump is part of the community dump.
Is the dump.
So there's all kinds of
And just one more time, why is he dumping in the dump?
He's
too big for the bathroom.
No, he does not have indoor plumbing.
Okay,
and I guess this is something he has done for years. He's not ashamed of it. It's just what he does. But his wooden support snapped at this particular time, and he fell straight down. But because he's at a dump, there was something embedded in the ground, and 1 in a million shot kind of thing. Then he rolled over because he's in pain, and the thing broke. So
Tony, I'm going PCP pipe.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking
PVC.
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 PVC. Jesus,
Sorry,
dude.
PVC.
Yeah, that's a much different thing.
That is a different thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking PVC because like a paintbrush, you wouldn't have enough to snap. No leverage on that. So probably PVC.
All right.
Yeah.
I was thinking PVC pipe, but you know what? I'll go glass bottle. Just because it seems the worst.
Okay. What, unfortunately, did this guy have to deal with? A tree root, a glass bottle, a PVC pipe, or a paintbrush? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories interior decorating on profile. This Mississippi farmer said something was lodged in his rectum. He actually used to go to the dump and make a little makeshift to-do there and use the bathroom there because he had no plumbing.
Correct.
In his house. Unfortunately, this time, whatever he was sitting on broke, and he landed because he was a heavier guy on the ground. Something impaled him in the backside. Question is, was it a tree root, a PVC pipe, a glass bottle, or a paintbrush?
And Tony, that is the very question that we posed to you in this very alarming story. Although I do appreciate this farmer's honesty. Doctor said, this dude, it was a 4-page medical report that I had to figure out and make it shorter. And they're like, we believe him. But he seriously just rolled in and said, I got this thing in my butt. This is how it happened.
You wouldn't know if you were going to put something in there or if something went in at a different level of force.
Right. I think they could probably tell when they took a look. Tony, you agree with Miles Montgomery, and you went with the old PVC pipe, even though Miles said PCP pipe, but PVC pipe.
Well, whatever you're into.
Yeah. It was not a PVC pipe. It was not.
You don't need a pipe for PCP, Miles.
Yeah, that's true. Just a sherm.
That's a good point. I'm thinking, how do you do PCP right now? Ted, you went with the glass bottle?
Glass bottle.
Get out of here.
So here's the thing. So the glass bottle's on the ground. Dude falls. Keep in mind, he falls straight down on it. Straight down on it. The thing goes into his butt. The thing, he's in extreme pain in that moment, which we all understand why. When he rolled over, that's what broke the frickin' bottle. Then the piece that was inside of him got completely sucked in, but keep in mind, it's a broken bottle, so the jagged edge, as the doctor said through the report, they said the thing that made it tricky, the jagged edges basically were facing out toward daylight.
Oh.
Right, because the bottle broke, so it just made the surgery more difficult because we had this jagged glass facing us, but the thing snapped and his butt basically just absorbed it when it broke in half. I mean, people have bad luck, but bro, everything about that. It's bad enough that you have to poop outdoors. It's bad enough that you have been pooping outdoors routinely because you don't have indoor plumbing. This time, because you're obese, your board snaps, you land on a glass bottle, you roll over, you break it, now you got a broken bottle stuck in your butt.
Right, and it wasn't expected.
No,
Even if you're into stuff
that's not right.
Right, you got to plan ahead.
Ooh, despair and agony on me. Now for all TV news all time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Little update on the show I'm watching, Frontier. Finished the first season.
How many episodes per season, roughly?
Man, I feel like that first season was only 6.
Okay.
Or 7. And what I forgot to leave out the other day, talking about how violent it was, how good it was, the fight scenes and everything. I also forgot to mention that they're all trying to screw each other over. The fur traders, the lady that runs the tavern or the ale house, the governor.
The governor.
Yeah. Wow, man, Lord Benton. God, I hate him. He's just awful. He's awful. All right, well, speaking of Lord Benton and other old people, the Golden Bachelor, which they are, it's kind of an ARP version of The Bachelor. So they talked about some of the women that'll be on there. 71-year-old Jerry Turner. He will not be choosing. Basically, people were like, is this going to be an older dude that gets to pick between younger women? But they're not doing that, right? Obviously, they're not just going to put up a bunch of 30-something girls for a dude that's in his...
Because he would close his eyes, point, and be like, you work.
Any.
Right, whatever.
They're all at least 60 years old. He's 71.
Okay.
So that makes sense. I also like they say they're not quite standard small town widows and divorcees or silver singles. They said they didn't go looking for him at Potluck's Walmart or the Garden Center at Lowe's.
Obviously.
Basically, the cast is a lot of professional seasoned women who,
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, well, and the way they put this, and I get it, they said TV-ready real estate agent vibes.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Glam shots.
What's that?
What you do in real estate? Glam shots.
Right, you got your face next to it, you know what I mean?
I don't know too many ugly real estate agents.
No, you don't know too many successful, ugly real estate agents. I mean, honestly, like our real estate agent that sold us the house that we bought, smoking hot, right? And she was referred to us by a friend who at the time was doing real estate, who's smoking hot. I mean, it did not convince me to buy or not buy a house, but you did not mind going around looking at houses.
Yeah, and like real estate agents, man or female, they're just put together better.
Sure.
I should say put together. Made up better.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, I think if you saw them out in regular life, it might not be the same thing, but like, the women always have on the makeup, the dudes always have like the sharp suit or whatever.
The hair is perfect. Yeah.
Right, the hair's coiffed or whatever.
But you kind of have to because, one thing about buying a house, generally speaking, it's the most expensive purchase you're going to make, right, in your life.
Ever.
So I do think it behooves them to look as professional as they can, just to put you at ease.
See, I've never bought a house, but that, as we're saying this, it makes a lot more sense why there's so much like realtor porn.
You mean like if I go to the porn site, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, let me show you the empty house.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Like,
right.
Oh, yeah. It's like she sells the house with her body.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've made a sale.
Well, those people should be real estate.
Yeah, I know. For God's sakes.
I saw one woman was from Washington. In the reality, whatever world. Do you root for the people that are from your area?
I generally do.
Me
Even
too.
if I have no horse in the race, it's just like, okay, you're from Washington, I hope you do well. If you're not from Washington and I hear you're from Baltimore, I go, hope you do well. If you're not from Washington or Baltimore and you're from Rochester, New York, I hope you do well. I mean, it's just, it's stupid because you have no horse in the race. You don't care, right?
Yeah, when I used to get Sports Illustrated, I just finally canceled that this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. How many years did you have it?
Well,
it's been a
I
hot
guess,
minute.
like what? I mean, we've been here 18, probably 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. But same thing. Sports Illustrated always had a thing kind of in the beginning that was like, I think it was faces in the crowd or people in the crowd.
They used to have hometown heroes for a while in the back.
But this one was just like generally high school kids. Sometimes it'd be somebody a little bit older, but just like people that had a good accomplishment that you're not going to see like Gatorade Player of the Year stuff.
Right.
But same thing. If they were from Washington or from
DC,
Maryland, right, I'd always be like, all right, cool.
It's funny, but I'll watch boxing, right? And sometimes the undercard, I've never heard of this guy, like from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm instantly like, I want him to win. He might be the biggest D-bag under. I know nothing
I've got
about the
fights
record.
in Baltimore.
But I'm like, you just want him to win. I don't know why. It's just city pride, man.
I mean, look, there's always levels of
Yeah.
this stuff, and it goes up. Like, I always look at sports, right? Like, sometimes, randomly, if I'm watching a soccer game from, like, Italy, like the Serie A or something, and like, I don't really have a rooting interest in any of the two teams, but there's an American that plays on one of those teams, like, all right, I'll cheer for that team.
Sure. It's, with football coming up, it's one of those deals where it'll be a guy in special teams, so I've not heard of him yet, right? And they'll say, he went to UW. And I'm like, run this goddamn thing back for a touchdown. Even if it's a team, it could be the Steelers, right? Who I just traditionally do not like. I'm like, okay, well, you can run this back for a touchdown. I want your team to lose, but I want you to have statistically a great game.
Yeah.
8 catches for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns. I want your team to lose, but I want you to do well.
I root on the Seahawks, but I want Geno to win because he's a West Virginia.
Think about Gardner Minshew.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Like, we're all like Minshew fans, and there's only one reason. What do Wazoo?
Yeah, and he's just cool.
He's cool.
We just saw him be cool.
But we pay more attention to him because, like, we kind of know. So wherever he is, and he'll be the backup, we get it. But if he takes the field, you instantly cheer for this guy to do well just based on that.
Yeah. Let's see. Some of these women actually are real estate agents. A few health and wellness types, 5 women work in education, including teachers, multiple businesswomen, a designer. Then I like this one. A former Chicago Honey Bears cheerleader, I guess they're called the honey bears.
Who's for the bear? Oh, for the bears, right? Okay,
right, like seagulls, or they're the dance team now.
So that would be a Super Bowl, maybe cheerleader.
I mean, based on age, 85. Yeah.
Well, she had to be 60. You got to be at least 60. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
A therapist. You know. I like this. By the way, a pro aging coach.
Pro aging coach.
Yes.
You need collagen, baby.
I guess there's a lot of amateur aging coaches out there.
Yeah.
Here's the best line.
A lot of amateur life coaches did.
All right. Only half of them are retired, but they all play
Bingo.
pickleball.
Pickleball. Okay. All right.
I still have not played.
I haven't played. I know there's a dude that I know him very well, and he is a guy. He has his own business, so he makes the money he wants to make. And so what he decided to do,
he's one of these guys that it just kind of talks like this. He's like, yeah. You know, like pickleball blew up, man. So I went to the park and played pickleball. I enjoyed it. So I told my wife, hey, we're putting a pickleball court in the driveway.
And she's a very cool chick, so she's like, okay, baby. He's like, yeah, but we got to get lights if I want to play at night. So he lives maybe 3 blocks away from me. I have not played it yet. I would like to play it. Now
Go over there and hang out.
Now that I'm old, I would like to play pickleball. And
pickleball's fun.
And he's like, dude, just come over, man. Just come over. We smoke a lot of weed together. So he's just like, man, I know crazy stuff. He's like, just come over. We'll play pickleball. I want to take him up on it very soon.
Pickleball is one of those things where, like you could use it. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of older people like it to stay active and it kind of doesn't work out.
Absolutely.
If you never work out, you can go play pickleball. I would also say, from personal experience, you could rip beers and go play pickleball.
I'm talking about all that. Like, I need to do something active. You know, I don't think I'm particularly unhealthy, but it ain't going to kill you to do something active. But the idea of going to a gym, which, quick side note. So, on vacation last week, we're in San Diego. In the lobby of the hotel we stayed at, Margaritaville, San Diego. I know how it sounds. It's actually a pretty cool hotel. But they had a workout.
San Diego or San Francisco?
San Diego is where I stayed at Margaritaville.
I told you, I've been to a Margaritaville. Like, they're fun.
They're great, dude. They really
I've
are.
turned the corner on Mr. Buffett. I'm back on his team.
Look, I don't have a problem with Jimmy Buffett per se. I
just
hate
his fans on the East Coast
music, but the anything he puts his name to has actually been cool. So we stayed there. I guess it's only been open as a Margaritaville for like 6 weeks. It was something else before they read there, whatever. So they had this workout room. My son decides, because it's across from the elevators. So every day he's like, Dad, I want to go to the workout room. I'm like, then go. He's like, it says kids have to be supervised. I'm like, ask your mother. And he just looked at me and I'm like, okay, so I'm on the hook for this. We went down to the goddamn workout room. And you know me, dude. I'm like anti-gym. That's the last place I want to be. And when we walk in, there's other guests that are taking advantage of it because they don't want to miss a day, you know?
Yeah.
So they're in there like doing the real thing. You can tell by body form that they know what they're doing. This is important to them. I kind of walk in it, man, I'm wearing cargo shorts. I don't have like workout stuff.
Right.
My son, the way he dresses, you would think he works out all the time. He doesn't, but...
Mesh shorts, no sleeves.
Mesh shorts, no, he never has sleeves. Duff, Billy Idol, and my son do not believe, and meth addicts, do not believe in sleeves under shirts, all right? So we go in there, and the thing he decided to get me to do was the goddamn treadmill. Bro, I'll tell you right now, I hated it. I hated every second of it, but we did it together.
How long did you go?
We went 30 minutes straight because
That's great.
No, Miles, it's not. Because when we set it up, you know, what do you want to do? And he wants to do like longer. And I said, man, if I have to be in here with your ass, 30 minutes, and that's exactly what I told him. 30 minutes is the longest that we can freaking do. So we both did it. You know what? I did not hate it. I was sweating.
It's good for your head.
That's part, you know, as an adult, It's good because you kind of tune out and you got to pay attention. So, but when we were done, he had more steps than me, but I had a longer distance than him, and he couldn't figure it out. And I said, bro, my legs are 3 times longer than yours. So
not next year.
I did. Oh, Jesus, man, 1.5 years. He's probably going to get my ass. But I said, look, you did a lot. You put a lot into it. Then it checks your heart rate. And he's like, your heart rate's a lot higher than mine. I'm like, yeah, it is. Because I feel like I'm about to have a stroke. You know, you barely broke a sweat, but did 30 minutes on the treadmill. Where he got me, though, is you can change the incline as you're doing it. Mm-hmm. He kept doing his up and up and up and up because he's got that kid energy. It's like, Dad, put it up. I'm like, nah, bro.
No hills.
I'm basically walking on a flat surface. Do you understand? I'm in Kansas.
If you do that workout, though, it really does help you when you're just running.
I will tell you what, 'cause he wants to get a treadmill. I don't want to get a treadmill. And one, it's going to be a passing fancy for a kid, but I'm like, I did not hate this.
Oh,
I did not hate it. I didn't hate it.
Pumping the iron?
I did a little bit with him because, like any little kid, it's all about muscles, man. So he wanted to go over to the weights. But it's funny. He grabs the biggest one he can find first. And I was waiting for him to drop it, which he did. And I go, okay, maybe dial it down a bit. So he hit about, I think it was 20 pounds. But he was doing it to impress Dad because Dad's standing there. He was laboring. I'm like, you don't.
It's a lot of weight for him.
Right.
He's a kid.
You're 11 years old.
Yeah.
You got a 20-pound weight and you're trying to do curls. It's like, brother, you don't need to impress me.
Good news. If you're like me and you like college football, Thursday night college football is back.
Yes,
it's actually on tonight. You got the Urban Meyer Bowl. That's Florida over there, Mike, in Utah playing Utah.
I'm saying that way.
Yeah, it's a little bit further south there, Tim. That's more Idaho, Montana.
That's on ESPN. Also, I mentioned this yesterday, 8 p.m. on CBS. You have that tribute to Bob Barker. The Price is Right at night. That's on 8 p.m. CBS.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to England, where a man cries in courts while pleading guilty to having sex with a cow. Meanwhile, a Florida man attacks his former girlfriend who said his custard launcher was less than wow. Man takes off shoes on a plane to reveal he has 6 toes. Thieves break into store and steal some sexy time clothes. And manatees in Florida are now eating people's lawns. Time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, thank you, Miles. Our top story. We go to the lovely world of the internet, where a video from a plane is going viral. This thing is absolutely disgusting. It's weird how, as I scan social media and TikTok and all that stuff, I watch these videos and then all of a sudden, bam, it's on a news story. That's just blowing my mind. But it's been well established that one should keep their shoes on while on a plane. And if you don't know that, keep your doggone shoes on. Also, don't wear open-toed shoes. If you want to wear slip-ons, cool. Keep your feet covered on the doggone plane.
We're talking to you, man.
Yeah. But one passenger managed to make things
There's been
worse.
studies, too, that are like, untie your shoes, whatever, but like, they're like, don't be barefoot on a plane.
No.
It's not good for you.
No, not at all, dude. Not only were his shoes off, but the man wasn't wearing socks either. So we see this video where this man is barefoot inside of a plane with his feet all over the doggone floor. He was like grabbing onto the mechanism of the seat in front of him with his greasy man toes.
Like on the bottom or like...
Oh, yeah, on the bottom.
All right.
Yeah. It's not like he was up on the armrest or anything like that, but he was tree grabbing there. But to make matters worse, the camera zooms in on his bare, hairy feet caressing the floor of the plane's cabin, where we make a shocking discovery about this passenger. The pinky toe of this man's foot splits at the base, leaving him with a total of 6 fuzzy phalanges sticking out of his foot.
Ew, man. Nobody wants to see that, dude. Come on.
They really don't.
They do not want to see that.
And look, there's a delicate balance in our society where be who you are and people can suck it up and assimilate to what is good and normal in society. This is one of those times where you need to come over this side of the fence.
But don't be the a-hole outlier.
Right.
I mean, that's all. That's all, man. Within civic norms, let's just keep that. That is how society progresses. There's things we would all love to say or do or show or see, but generally speaking, in a group environment, if you're playing by just the general, and let's say in this country, real loose rules.
Right.
Can you not?
Right. Not everything in life is about you being as comfortable as you possibly can be. Sometimes.
Yes, it is, Mike.
Right.
You're a hater that can't take it.
I mean,
no, you're Dean. That's
right.
all.
And I feel like I've seen a handful more videos now. I'm not going to say it's a global epidemic where it's everybody on every plane, but I've seen a handful of people that don't seem to understand. Keep your feet to yourself on a plane. One of my favorites was a video of a guy who was on a plane, and he kind of shows his stunned face, and the camera changes to the backside of the video, where you see basically his foot space, and one sandal is sticking out from underneath his seat. The guy behind him, I don't know how you could possibly be this tall or positioned this way, where your foot is in the foot space of the person in front of you. And he just poured water right there in front of it.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I will say, I was on a smaller plane, just 2 seats on each side.
All right.
And the guy in front or behind me, seeing these legs kept like coming up underneath and were like tapping me. So I'm kind of getting annoyed, but the seats, like, so I don't turn and I kind of like shoot a couple looks or whatever,
Sure.
but like I can't like see him. Then when the plane lands and we stand up, brother was like 6'6" or whatever, and I was like, I didn't realize you're that tall. He's
Good
like,
for you.
I mean, he was like,
Yeah.
yep. He was like, I was like, yep. I did not realize you were that tall.
We also collectively need to do better on public transit. I'm just going to say this, put this out there for anybody who might be hearing me. If you take buses, put deodorant on. And if you are of that persuasion that starts to stink throughout the day, carry some in your bag.
Anything.
Just going to throw that out there. I do.
No one should have to experience your stink.
No.
That's all. Keep yourself to yourself as much as you can.
Correct.
That's all.
Also, if you're a big man sitting next to another big man, and when one of the big men is clearly trying to do all that he can to stay to his side, that's not license for you to just flow into his side. Stick to your side as well. We're two big people. You don't get to just take over one, because if you do, I'm going to, and then we're gonna get into a fight.
Then we have a problem, right?
In other news, wild story out of Idaho, of all places, a man was arrested for defending his property. Late at night, he witnessed a group of 9 people vandalizing his front doorstep. He armed himself and moved in just in time to see them pound on the door and take off running to their cars, the ruffians, leaving their garbage behind on his porch. He managed to stop one car full, threatening him with his weapon to get out of their car as police made their way to the scene. He even continued to brandish it, shoving it up against their chest. You better do as I say. Problem with all this, the 9 people were actually teenagers, all pulling off an elaborate prom proposal to his daughter.
That's why he was angry.
Yes. Despite them trying to explain this to man, he doubled down on his brandishing stance and he was arrested on several charges. Look, I get the stereotype that dads are going to be overly protective of their daughters.
Yes, they will.
And I understand. Without understanding how dads can be overly protective of their daughters.
You do understand. You're a guy. And one thing about guys, we understand every other guy.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Like, dude, I don't have to know where you're from, who your parents are, where you were born, what you do for a living, what you think of. You're dude.
Look,
I understand.
It's the element of surprise. You're not used to someone showing up in your doorstep at that time.
Right.
So I was reading that stuff with the men's room poll today, right? So a surprise party. Don't surprise someone who has a concealed carry permit. And then they showed 5 stories where real bad stuff happened because someone walks in their home, they just start. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. A man over in the UK is currently being sentenced for animal abuse. A local farmer had suspected that his cows were being abused by someone in the area and set up elaborate traps and surveillance to trigger when someone was sneaking onto his property in the dead of night. They did prove successful, trapping the young man on the property and catching video evidence of him having sexual congress with one of the young calves. What's even worse is the farmer actually knows this guy. He was employed on the farm several years ago when he was a kid. He knows exactly who this kid is. But he's old enough now, and he's trying to adult.
It's so horrible.
No, that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
See you for the weekend. Ted versus the FCC and another Bad Choice Friday.
Yes, indeed, it's all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.